Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Trader TV Live. Markets back into all-time highs as more discussions come out of Asia with respect to a U.S. and China trade deal as the two presidents look to meet up later this week on Thursday. Lots to talk about this morning, guys. There is weakness in the market, most notably with material names. We're talking about critical minerals, your MPs, your USARs, down markedly here to start the morning as China possibly may be pulling back some of the critical mineral restrictions that it's imposed on the West. Separately, Bitcoin trading nicely above 115,000 as IBIT moves back above 4% on the day. FXI also in focus as Chinese economic data coming out overnight very strong, with manufacturing growing over 22% quarter over quarter. Microchips as well strong. The SMH here getting about a 2% bump. Micron with a nice upgrade as well. And GME, out of all companies, guys, being spoken here by the White House Twitter account, up nicely 5% Adara. And quantum names also recovering from a little bit of a week last week.
Yeah, quantum's certainly going to be on watch, guys, for sure. And of course,
muted. All right, guys, let's have a look at some of the major averages. As I mentioned, the NQ up 1.25%, leading the way here for all four major averages as it dances with all-time highs. Likewise with the ES up above 6,800. Adara knocking on the door of that 6,900 point area. The Dow and the Russell also up nicely to start the morning.
Yeah, also strong here is KDP, Keurig Dr Pepper earnings play. They reported this morning, and we'll have a whole bunch more earnings tonight. And before the bell tomorrow, this is going to be a peak earnings week with 5 of the 7 Mag 7 components actually reporting throughout the week, specifically on Wednesday and Thursday after the bell. Of course, these materials names, as Sharif mentioned, going to be on watch. In addition to GME, we've got that ASST, Strive. We could also see BYND continue. So a lot of these meme or retail heavy plays absolutely in focus.
All right, guys, it's a good morning, or it's a good day or a good move for the morning here. Everything in green territory. Good morning, guys.
Is in the green, unless you're not the metals though. Like you said, like there's
not everything, but yeah, like what a euphoric market again here today.
Most everything.
I thought Friday was a great day.
Well, it's going to be even better.
Oh,
hopefully.
you have the CME. When is
hopefully.
That? Wednesday?
Well, on Wednesday it's a mortal. Well, I mean, it's pretty much a lock, everybody. Like we're at 96 points. I don't want to call it a mortal lock because I feel like that's like whatever. We're going to get a rate cut. Like last week, the other thing you got to remember is we got some economic data. We also got inflation data, which came in lighter than expected across the board. Core CPI was good, so we're going to get that cut this week. Bitcoin's looking pretty strong here. Of course, I mean the chips are nuts. AMD 2.2%, NVIDIA up a couple of points as well. So it's a really, really strong market. Hopefully, this strength comes to the Jays bats tonight because they did not show. Well, I mean, to say they didn't show up is to not do justice to how ridiculous Yamamoto was.
Yeah, I don't think it was
ridiculous.
I don't think it was anything they're doing here at all. Sharif said that my son looks a lot like me, so here he is right here. We went to the game. My wife took the picture. It was a great game on Friday, obviously, or on Saturday. Obviously, there's my brother. We wind up losing, but yeah, there it is right there. Go hit me up there, and thanks for everybody. There are 96 likes on that one. I appreciate it. But we had a great time. And we'll see today what winds up happening, man. Yeah, go Dodgers in the chat, but go Blue Jays around these places. And we'll see. I mean, Mad Max tonight should be a good one.
I finally got Aaron to make a sign.
Oh, good.
We've been going for 9 years. Aaron has never, my daughter, has never made a sign. First time she makes a sign, she makes it for Vladdy and made the broadcast.
Oh, good. What broadcast? Oh.
It was right away, like, it was in the first
You look really
inning.
happy there.
I was nervous, man.
I'm just looking at this.
I was nervous. No, whatever. It's random time. Vladdy comes up to bat. That's Aaron. It's myself and my wife. So we got, like, finally. Yeah, no.
There it is.
Straight up. She never makes a sign. So she made it on Friday night while watching the game with my parents and then decided, make sure you bring it. She would not hold it up. She was nervous to hold it up, though.
Yeah, we block other people, yeah.
And so Rebecca's like,
a lot of signs. Good.
You have to.
Looks good.
But they got to handle business tonight.
Yeah, they have to definitely.
They have to handle business tonight. That's all I got to say.
They definitely have to. Game 3, an important one. We've already lost the home field advantage, I guess, by going 1-1. But whatever.
We got Mad Max, man.
Split this one, right? Go 1 for 3 here, and then come back. Just come back. That's all. Palantir approaching 190 right now. I mean, this is a good one. So we'll have to wait to see on this break. This was a monster break on Friday here when we broke through this 184. I think it was the one that we had, or was it 183? I don't know. It was right off the open. So that was a huge move. Came right back into VWAP at that time, and then started to go again. So we'll wait to see if we can get an extension again here on PLTR. Man, it's going to be a good one again today, I have a feeling. Up 1.26% to already start the day. No Brendan here, no problem. I think we should have Michael Noss back with us here today. Hopefully that's good to go. And then we've got the guys working in the back. That's a lot of fun. We've got lots of stuff to talk about today. With the biggest, not the biggest, next week I think is a little bit bigger, but big week coming for earnings, and they're all kicking off right now. So, you know, we had some monster moves last week where we had IBM hit the skids and then right back. GE Vernova, same way. Amazon's back to like 228, 230 right here. Bitcoin we bought last week, 108, it's 115. That seems to be working out for us. Yeah, but if you bought anything last week, besides maybe the rare metals, I think you're up. And
even those don't look that bad.
We got asked last week about quantum, and I was like, stay long. And I mean, that's been paying off quite nicely for everybody as well as quantum continues to go to the upside. Big Bear AI is working out. I mean, some of these low flow ones, maybe today we got GME as well. Like there's lots to go. I got GME on the sticky note here, so it's going to be good.
It's always fun when like even like GameStop gets a bit of it, but like the weird thing is that like US AR is down and it doesn't look, it's down almost double digits.
Oh.
But even this stock's coming into a level. Right, like this was long resistance at $20, and I think a lot of people like this breakout. I think we had Mitch talked about it, or at least a couple of other people as well. And this comes right back in. Maybe I'd be looking for a dip buy here in the prior resistance on USAR. I don't know if it gets there today because you're talking about it's down 8.5%. It has to go another 7 or 8% to get to that 20 level, but it's certainly within spitting distance. You got the 50 period there, so there's a lot to like. Even if a stock doesn't look that good, like even. Like I look at an MP, I think this can be a bit of a dip buying opportunity in here. It's underneath the 50, but it's starting to come again into some prior support levels. I'd love it to be down in the 40s. I think that's an easy buy on MP. But yeah, there could even be opportunities looking at some of these critical metal and rare earth names as well. So yeah, a lot to cover. We'll have as much fun as possible while doing it because, heck, market up. We're chilling. It's fall. The only bad thing is it was real fall weather this morning, like straight.
Yeah, I think it was
put on the
zero when I came in.
Yeah, I had the toque. I had the gloves on. That's my only beef. I'm like, come on, just give me
a high of 10 degrees.
Randy just yelled out. Did you have the insulated underwear on? I'm not like Obi. I don't wear like 3 pairs of long johns every single day.
Yeah.
That dude was wearing long johns when it's like 15,
I don't
degrees
own long johns, but I probably should. I don't know. Good for camping.
It has to be, if it's like minus 20, that's a different.
Someone just said Lululemon is blasting. Is that true? Ooh, 185?
Everything is blasting.
I don't have my thing up. Wow, up 4% right now. You guys are right. There goes Lululemon, man, making this guy's day pretty happy. We diversified some of our portfolio into Lululemon and into TGT was the other one. We're long target around 88.50. That's $95 now. That's a good one. We didn't even check out on Big Bear AI today. That's $7.20. That's working out. Open Door bounced off $7 last week. That's at $8. That's starting to work outside. Open Door. Stay inside. Right now it's too cold. That's Open Door. And then the other one we had running last week was, BYND was another fun name last week. Oh, $2 right here. Yeah, only 17 million shares. What's going on? Come on, BYND, wake up. Right there, but
Open Door was moving better than Beyond.
Yeah, Beyond down 4% right now, so it's not cooking up a storm. I guess they did not discover beef after all, and they're still using Beyond Meat. But okay, down 2%, down to $2, down 4% there. And then we had, the reports last week. We had Intel came through. They're a little off that $40 mark. We'll see if they can hold. They're one of the weaker names right now. Although up, obviously, when you're looking at a stock like an Advanced Micro Devices, which is on my mind again here today, that's up another 2.5. Well, we just said Intel's down. What is that? Lululemon partnering with, the NFL. Okay. They also partnered with NHL this year because I got something from the Leafs there about that as well. But there's NVIDIA up to 191. They're approaching all-time highs. So everything today. What a good day to wake up and be long in the portfolio. Those of you that are short may have to wait. Earnings this week, so we'll see how they all pan out. All right, let's go back over the desk and figure out what they're up to.
All right, guys, let me know if we're going to get into Michael Noss. I guess we're going to talk a little oil today. We saw a lot of volatility with oil last week. It dropped below $60 a barrel, but quickly moved back up on the headline of geopolitical cuts, with OPEC not cutting as much as they said they would. Let's bring in Michael Noss if we can. Good morning, Michael. I like when oil drops below $60 a barrel. I don't typically like this thing going up, but you see some variances here.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned it already that, it had that drop and then had OPEC news. So oil is one of those, I think, is a little bit tricky to trade just because of what Sharif was saying, that it is a kind of an instrument that is controlled to some degree. It can't be obviously entirely controlled, but to some degree, there's a little bit of manipulation there, you could say. But it's starting to look interesting. And part of the reason why I'm interested, I'll talk about here, but everything else is moving and this one hasn't. And we talk about this all the time, where rotation, generally speaking, has to come in as markets hit new all-time highs. People may pair some positions there and they may buy something else. So the first chart I have here is just the chart of oil in general on a weekly time frame, just to show this consolidation that's been going on for years now. This goes back to 2021. So we've been roughly near this price for like 3 to 5 years now, and getting tighter and tighter as things go. Eventually, as we know, the only two things we really know about price action is that it trends. Price action generally doesn't mean revert, but however, volatility does. So when something gets really not volatile at all and can't move in any direction, then generally there's some sort of explosion that happens. And the trigger, I think, that might be for that pop up is this next chart here. So this is from Bloomberg, and it's using the ICE futures contracts, and it's showing the kind of short positions of oil. And it has never been, since this chart, which goes back to 2011, has never been more shorted. And you guys know how I love to take the other side of a trade when a trade gets really, really crowded. So a lot of people looked like they were going to potentially short that breakdown. And with the surge that we had last week, a lot of those people might be underwater because that spike happened very recently. So if that's going to occur and we're going to get that short covering, potential short squeeze rally, it makes sense to take a look at some of the stocks here. So I've got some names, some large caps, some small caps. First one here is just CVX. And if you look at this kind of nice channel pattern, yes, it's been downtrending a little bit over the period of time. Also pays you some dividends. So if you adjusted for dividends, it's probably actually been flat, just like oil, for that period of time. But, consolidating to the high end of this trend line. So a break of this trend line could be a little bit of a decent entry, because if you fail and you spend too much time back below that trend line, it's probably time to go. So that's a nice little look there on CVX. This next one is a very small company, because I know a lot of people like small caps, but it has a really clear level here. And this is just INDO, or Indonesia Energy Corporation Limited. So we're around 350, around 340, 350. You can see the resistance that's taken place over the last year or so. So if we can get through that, this could be maybe a little bit more of a momentum play. You can see it had that price action earlier where it popped to 7. So maybe if we can get above that, that's a nice little level for you that want to potentially either deploy less capital or you want a little bit more momentum than a CVX or an ExxonMobil or something like that. And then this next chart here is, oh man, it cut off the name. 1 second. I'll have to look up this one and send it to you. I'm sorry, guys. Usually I have a watermark on there, but this one cut it off entirely. I'll post in the chat or something. I'm sorry. But it's a heavily shorted name, so it's super interested. So pay attention to the chat. Again, I apologize here. I can find it in a second, but yeah, I don't want to do that dead air thing. So apologize there.
Yeah, no worries, Michael. I mean, I've made that as well. But, one thing that I've kept my eye on, especially with oil lately, is the refilling of the strategic reserves. I know we talk technicals, but I always feel like there's a bit of a bottom, Michael, that comes up sort of artificially. That's really not market driven, more about, countries taking advantage of lower oil prices, refilling the strategic reserve. Is that something you keep an eye on? Do you have like a level there marked on the chart? Strategic reserve support. I'm kidding, of course, but something that I keep my eye on.
It's interesting, right? Because I have that symbol, so I'll talk about it after that. I found it, but it's interesting because you have these kind of competing forces that are outside of our control and outside of technical analysis, and sometimes those can be problematic. Like we talk about OPEC, in this case, they're generally net sellers, but then often sometimes you get buyers on the other side of that could just be the government. And if you knew in advance, that would be a good help, but I think that information is probably disseminated pretty quickly. I know for myself anyway, it's something I used to do every Wednesday when I used to trade on a prop desk, is wait for that number to come out. But if we can just go to that chart just real quick, it's FTK. And this isn't an oil company per se, but what they do is they actually clean they come up with like cleaning systems and cleaning chemicals for oil plants and oil distribution companies. So it would benefit for if they start to produce more because the price of oil is higher. And the reason that I was interested is that line on the bottom that I have highlighted with the line up. That's the short float percentage. So you can see not only is it around 22% short float, but they've been shorting inside this range, this area, which ranges from around $12 to about $14. So above that, then that could be very interesting. Just like if we see a little bit of a short squeeze on oil, maybe we get a little bit of a short squeeze on oil-related names with high short floats as well.
Michael, I got to ask you, I love how you have this set up with the short float percentage on the bottom as well as the short ratio. Let me ask you, do you chart off these technicals as well in the same way that maybe you would look for RSI price divergence? Do you look for any sort of divergence between the bottom indicators and price action with these bad boys?
Yeah, I love looking at it because I want to know not only the short float, but where the shorts are. And this is FinViz for anyone who's looking. It's free site. And yeah, they keep the short float data and they chart it in that bottom pane. And because if I come to you and I say, hey, this stock is shorted at 70% short float, well, that's not necessarily the recipe for short squeeze. So kind of like we're seeing with Beyond Meat. Had a nice little pop, and now it's working its way right back down. Because if everybody is short from a long time ago, maybe AMC is a better example, right? People are short that from a split adjusted price of hundreds of dollars a share, and it's at 2. So if it goes from 2 to 5 or 2 to 10, it's not going to cause that kind of epic short squeeze because they're not worried about losing money. They're still up on their positions. So I want to see not only that they're short, but I want to see where they're short. And like Open Door, which is a chart maybe I'll bring in the after hours show, is a really good example of this, where they shorted all of the Open Door float when it was under $1. So they're really hurting now. And same with this one, is that it's not that it's a 22% short float. That's, you know, it's high, but it's not crazy. But it's the fact that I know that they're short somewhere within, say, $12 to $14, and this thing's up to $15. So I know that pressure is already put on. So that's the look that I wanted to look at, is I want to say, okay, are they short, and then where? So how much pain are they feeling right now?
I think that's one of the more important things, at least when I'm looking to trade. I'd like to know where the concentration of the shorts are, and I really like how that sets it up. You can kind of visually see it. You can make educated guesses, of course, based on volume on the price action, but this kind of helps you sort of codify it in a more specific way. Michael, thanks for joining us on Monday. I guess we'll see you after the bell today.
See you after the bell. Have a good one.
Yep.
Well, I can tell you, I was very, very happy and pleased with Michael when he brought that up about Open Door specifically, like where people are short, like where they've been adding, because that's such a key. Like that percentage can be so deceiving. And when Michael had mentioned that it was underneath $1 when a lot of the short interest was starting to come into the stock, you can sort of see what's happening here. And this one's on radar. Remember what happened on Friday? That big bounce off the 50 period. Open Door, obviously Beyond Meat, had been strong for a couple of days, and now Open Door catching a bit of a bid after that little dip into 7. Well, it's set up for a nice little breakout here at 840. So I like this range, whether it's 780. I think we talked about the 780 level on Friday. It dipped right into this prior resistance. Like both of them. You dip into 780, as long as you hold this range, I don't care if it's range bound, 780 to 840 would be fine, and then you have potential breakout there, and that's the key. Like, people are short this name, people are short this out of the money, and of course there's always going to be new ones adding. But the other thing that can be a driver to stocks, not just short flow, option flow, and upgrades and downgrades.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday. All right, let's get right into it. Take a look at some of our upgrades and downgrades and some options activity. All right, guys, at the top of the list today, we have Google getting that price target raised by JP Morgan to $300. And a big time move. We're up 2% almost on the session. A lot of these mega caps gapping up in the pre-market. Now, Baker Hughes by TD Cowen getting that price target raised to $57. And then Estee Lauder by Canaccord Genuity, price target raised to $100, up 1.5% roughly there today. Quantum Sci, once again by Canaccord Genuity. This is Sharif's World. $2 price target on that one. Small cap name there. And then as for the downgrades, DraftKings getting it lower to $50. And Flutter Entertainment by Stifel Nicholas as well, too, lowering that target to $339. Now, Aruka Therapeutics lowering that price target to $40. And then Plymouth REIT is also getting that by BMO Capital Markets, price target lowered to $22. Now, as for some of last week's options activity, this is going to be on this week's expiration cycle, guys. Amazon coming out with some news this morning as well, too. And a lot of these names reporting, we know Tesla reported last week as well. So let's go over some of the options activity and see what we got going on. So at 2:30, we have 20,000 contracts, guys. This is on Friday, don't forget. 20,000 contracts traded at that specific level. Open interest sitting around 17,700. I'm going to suspect that to grow a little bit. And then we also have Google as well, too, guys. Volume 9,000 contracts at that 270 strike price with open interest around 6,000. Once again, I'm going to suspect that number is going to grow substantially. Now, Tesla had a rough session on Friday, but lots of volume coming in at $450 at that $450 strike price. Volume 50,200 with the open interest sitting around 13,000 contracts, guys.
All right, thanks for that one. Look, I mean, I was actually, one thing that we didn't talk about, you know, playing contracts and playing options obviously is very important, especially into a week where there's a lot of volatility as far as earnings are concerned, right? I mean, the only thing is you want to make sure maybe to look at next week, some plays for next week and the week following, because the volatility is so high and the cost that you're going to pay for buying and acquiring some of those puts or calls pretty expensive, but maybe writing getting a lot of volatility, because some of these names haven't really moved as much as the implied volatility have been over the last little while. Gold, we were talking about oil today. I was just going to say something else that's maybe falling back in a little bit here as we potentially get more of a deal with China. We get some, you know, some tensions easing maybe around the world via trade wars. But yeah, gold down 1.4% here today. If you're thinking that there is going to be maybe a potential problem with some of the earnings that are coming up, and then plus we have in 2 days, we have Fed, so we'll have to see where that goes. You know what caught me by guard? I have absolutely no Halloween costume whatsoever. So I don't know if Friday, what day is even Halloween right now?
It's Friday.
Okay, I'm not sure. It's going to be very eventful for me.
Game 6.
Right here. I haven't even thought of it. Like my kids, yesterday my daughter went out and got some overalls. She's dressing up as some sort of a minion or something like that. So I don't know. I haven't even thought about it. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, my daughter has known for a while I mean, K-pop Demon Hunters is so ridiculous that like.
Oh, that's what she's gonna be.
Like
my kids know what they're gonna do.
So many people are doing that.
Idea.
No, but the big thing is it's game 6, which is you only have a game 6 if it's do or die for one team and it's a clincher for another.
There will be a game.
So there will be. That's what I'm saying. But like you don't know which it will be, but it's a do or die game regardless. So we've already had some discussions about what we're doing. For Halloween, because Halloween's huge in our family. Like we always dress up as like a family costume and go out together.
Okay. Yeah, I was talking about the show here. I don't know. I may come absolutely nothing. I might just come as a trader. So.
Well, I'm showing up as something.
You're showing up as something.
Me
and Brendan might be the lone wolves here. But it's always fun to do something. I just got to get something.
Well, I mean, the Jays are going to be playing, so
can't wear the hot dog thing again.
It's one of those like dress up as your all-time favorite Blue Jay. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to dress up as a Blue Jay thing. All right, 8:54 right now. Are you guys going out for Halloween? I'm pretty sure Adair and Sharif got something planned. I know Joe has something. Neil just said he's going to be wearing something. So it'll be a fun day around here on, is it Friday? Is Friday Halloween? I don't even know.
It is Friday.
Okay, Friday. So we'll see everybody.
Which is the best day for Halloween, really? Friday or Saturday?
Yeah, well, for the parties and everything. Thursday is good, too. Just take Friday off, right? But, all right, we'll get back over to the desk and talk some more trades. And we've got our watch list to go. Lots of different ideas happening today. Make sure you do get at watchlist.tradertv.com. Scan that QR code right there and What does that take you to these days? Trade the pool.
Let's trade the pool.
We'll find out what they're all about. Thanks, Michael Nostr, coming through as well.
Yeah, make sure to catch that with us Friday on the midday. Joseph and I are going to dress up as some sort of pair. Not exactly sure which ones we're going to choose yet, so check us out on Friday to find out. Let's talk a little crypto. Good move for Bitcoin back above $115,000 over the weekend. IBIT almost up 4% here to start the morning. So the leading cryptocurrencies really rallied alongside equity Sunday night as the optimism grew around, of course, a new potential US-China trade deal. The overall crypto market did climb about 3%, 24 hours, just shy of $4 trillion, still at $3.98 trillion, with the crypto fear and greed index moving from fear to neutral, which signals sort of more of a risk appetite after weeks of cautious trading. Bitcoin trading volume, guys, up 73% with $225 million in short liquidations. Ethereum also saw a 9% increase, Adara, in daily transactions, which could suggest renewed momentum in the smart contract activity.
Yeah, that 5-day win streak here for Bitcoin could certainly be a reality, so keep an eye on BTC especially. I want to mention as well another play in this space, CIFR. Cypher Mining gapped up yesterday, today gapping up with the crypto space, or sorry, yesterday, by yesterday I mean Friday. Either way here, Friday this was strong after Jane Street disclosed a 5% stake in the BTC miner. Eric Jackson of Open Door fame is also involved in CIFR here, guys. So this could be a day 2 play to potentially keep an eye on.
All right, guys, we lost that $110,000 level last week for a day or two. Back above it right now. What do you make of this?
Well, I mean, the individual name I'm looking at is going to be probably Mara today because I like that 20 level. We'll get there in a second. But Bitcoin, technically, like I said, it's been gorgeous. I have 4. I'm only using 1 chart in my long term for Bitcoin, and I stick with it. And it's got 4 lines on it. And thank you very much for the delivery, Randy.
Thank you for the delivery.
Appreciate it.
You got omelets over there too.
Oh yeah, the omelets were.
Yeah, that's the best part. The worst part is the cheese.
No, they used way too much cheese in the omelets today. Yeah,
we love the corn. We love the corn around here.
Yeah, there is such thing as too much cheese.
Corn and omelets?
Yeah, man, that's what we were saying. Those were literally the best ones.
I love the vegetables.
Those were the best omelets, but too much cheese in them. Today.
Peppers, onions,
mushrooms.
Like it was. Like it was.
They even have peas in there today.
There was a stack, plenty of vegetables in there, like get your protein. But I don't know. Like again, some people love cheese.
Those are the tastiest ones we have. But it feels like there was something off with the cheese in there today. I don't know.
No, the cheese, it tasted.
Joe saying it's the best one as well.
No, the cheese tasted, it was either too much or something I didn't like. Anyway, Bitcoin super strong. I'm looking for continuation off that. Our boy whose name is Cheese. Oh, this is his nickname anyways. Cheese. So I'm thinking dip buy because you're off of this 116 resistance on the daily. And that works out on IBIT to like 64.5 is kind of the level, like the prior high that I'd be looking at. Like, okay, well, can we fade all the way back in? Like, this is the resistance spot. If we just sort of have a consolidation day, I'm looking for a play in that range. But I love what's going on in Mara. Like, Mara specifically, like 1, 2, 3, almost 4 times holding this 20 level if you count the afternoon on Tuesday. So it's already starting to pull back in. All you have to do is hold on to that 20 level, go dip into prior resistance, and it's got so much of the gap to fill. So any strength in crypto this week, as long as Mars is holding that 20, I'm thinking long with room to 22. So yeah, I'm going to try that one for the dip buy. Bitcoin as well, but whichever gets there first, I suppose.
Look, here's a chart of Bitcoin. I mean, you guys know that I bought at the 200 period. We bought a couple. I mean, I don't know, since like about a week and a half ago, something like that. We were bounced off 108 a couple times. I hope it's not the last time it gets down there because I like to buy more. But if it's the last time, then I'm fine with that as well. As we got full now. We're not full, but we're enough. We sold. We told about selling some Oracle, some AMD, which AMD is obviously wrong. Some Marvell and all that. Put some money into Bitcoin. Put some money into Lulu, things like that. And they're starting to work upside right now. Put some money into gold, which obviously isn't working right now. But there goes Bitcoin. What a nice couple 5 or 6 days right there to the upside. We can also check out, of course, Ripple starting to move upside as well right now as that bounced off that 240, 230 area. And we've talked about that, although being under the 200 period is something interesting right now for XRP. These have been good buy areas. We talked about 230 a couple times, and then Solana as well. I looked this morning, was back up to $200 one more time, and look at that perfect bounce again off of 175 there, the 200 period moving average. So I'm buying names that I like. crypto space down at 200 period moving average. I still have Ethereum. It's pretty much my least held name. But that would probably be an interesting decision to make since I don't like it that much. Down here near 3,200, if that got into its 200 period moving average. Of course, they had such a huge move up recently in Ethereum with Tom Lee and all that hype with BMNR and all that stuff. So the 200 period is a little off of where it should be right now because it does nice bounces at 3,700. So there's lots of names happening right now. And then, you know, just because it's another major holder, we can look at DOJ. Amex Doge? No, hold on a second here. Doge, there it is. We'll see what's going on right now. I always just go to whatever Bitcoin, Binance or whatever is charting this. But right down there, 20 cents, not as great here for Dogecoin, right? So we'll have to see. What was the other one? There was always Shiba Inu, right? So this was another one that we haven't looked at in a while. Wow, yeah, all the way back in for SHIB. Yeah, a name that we never get too much talked about anymore. Then mine right here is Cardano. I haven't bought any in a long time. This might be dead as well. I don't know. It doesn't really want to do anything. Down here at 67 cents. Next time it gets up to $1, I think it might be time to get rid of that one. This has bounced around $1, $1.10, $1.20 for a while. So shout out to everybody that keeps on buying dips in crypto. It's been working out for sure. But like I keep saying, man, sell the pumps in some of these other names and buy the big ones. I feel like that to me has been working out for the longer term and to average in and get a better position in Bitcoin. And I do it through IBIT, right? You could do it through IBIT in Canada or here or in the United States. So IBIT up another 4% there today. Great buy the dip opportunities in Bitcoin right off of a clean level of 108,000. I just showed it to you. So yeah, let's go Bitcoin. I actually had IBIT on my mind to write in here, but I couldn't really find any levels up 4%. So we'll watch IBIT. I mean, I really like the momentum today. I'm not worried about this coming back in. On Friday, we had, you know, the TQQs start to go ham a little bit there on Friday on that IS CPI print right into here. It came back in, gave you opportunities to buy some of these dips. So we'll see. We're now sort of extending out here. We'll see if it comes back in and buy some dips here at some point as well with TQQs and the Nasdaq. So we're going to be dip buying all of these. Yeah, people saying about GME news. Yeah, I mean, look, man, the White House just can't. I don't know if they're trying to get followers or what. Like, I don't know why they're doing this, but there was an Instagram post or a tweet or an X or something today of the guy holding on. Halo released a new game, and it was just over the air, right? So it's Microsoft. He said the end of the console wars, tagged GameStop. It's only up 5%. I actually thought it would be up a lot more. So I think we have to dig into this story.
And it's got the Bitcoin thing going for it as well, because you know
they don't even hold that much.
They don't
Bitcoin,
hold
but
that
it does
much.
have it.
But it's part of like the squeeze story. Is I would have expected more strength. This stock has been selling off all pre-market, so unfortunately, I don't know if GameStop's going to be the one today. It would have been more fun if it was above 25 in this 200 period moving average. I'd be thinking breakout today on GameStop, but I didn't put it on the list because there's stocks that look a little bit better on that daily as opposed to GME. Let's see what else we got going on here.
All right, guys, 68.27. That's where we closed out Friday on the ES December contract. Take a look at that gap. That is a gap there. That's an actual gap with aftermarket and pre-market trading hours included in this chart. We are at all-time highs on the ES, 68.90. So we're going to use 6,900 as our first level of resistance if we continue trending up. If we lose the bid for whatever reason, look at that overnight low, 68.65. What we'll say is that 50-point area as support, 68.50, guys. All right, make sure to get the watch list every morning. Adair prepares it, and we all use it, and it comes directly into your inbox. Helps you know what's moving on the day and how to organize your trading day. And no good morning routine, of course, is complete without a good watch list. And if you want a bit more of a thorough watch list, make sure to click the join below this video on YouTube to get my morning note every day for premium members only. All right, let's start with the first group of tickers. Rare Earths, MP, in focus as critical mineral stocks dropped following reports, of course, that China may delay new export controls as part of a pending U.S.-China trade truce. U.S. miners could lose the near-term pricing leverage they have if China's restrictions are postponed, with Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on the weekend telling NBC News that Washington and Beijing are close to finalizing a deal to avert that new 100% tariffs that were scheduled to go in effect on Chinese goods on November 1st. The decision, comes ahead of Thursday's high-stakes meeting meetings, Adira, between President Trump and President Xi. As we know, of course, China introduced a framework for controlling rare earths earlier in the month, which was not met well by the administration.
Well, it was actually met there, as you guys remember, the Friday Truth Social post heard around the world on October 10th, 2025. Donald Trump posts a very long post basically saying that because of how China is handling the rare earth situation, they might have to place massive tariffs on the country. Then on Friday evening, he does just that. Since then, these rare earth minerals plays, including MP, et cetera, have been really strong. So this is a pretty significant change in story, even as we knew that there was potential softening here in tensions between the U.S. and China. Let's find out what happens on that meeting on Thursday between Trump and Xi.
All right, guys, U.S. materials, MP, negative 4%, USAR 8.5 in the red. What's the move here?
Well, I think there's an SSR bounce potential in USAR. That's the one I'll be watching. It's already down 8.5%, and then as we alluded to the open of the show, like this is pulling right back into obvious support, like resistance that potentially is support. Like I like support to resistance. You know, a lot of people have been waiting for these to come back to earth to sort of get like a, no pun intended, to get a dip buy opportunity. I think I personally, like in the long term, well, I guess I'll probably do it in my TFSA, so like the swing account. I'm looking at MP myself for the dip buy. I don't know that it's even there yet, but USAR here for the day trade. Once it gets underneath 21 or even 221, it'll be down 10% actually before it gets to 21, just slightly before that. Then I'm going to look for the mean reversion play. As long as it holds on at 20 bucks, I'll look at 21. I'll probably look again at the 50 period on the daily, which is 20 1/3. I just think there's a buy the dip opportunity here in USAR because it'll be that 10% down. That just means the uptick rule is in effect. It's nothing crazy, but if you get to a support level when that's the case, I usually look for that mean reversion. So I will today or tomorrow on USAR because it'll be, if it hits 10% down, it'll be SSR tomorrow as well.
Yeah, I think MP, another one, if you're looking, yeah, we're really happy, Shadow, about Lululemon, man. We would be tweeting that one out and trying to just buy some value and get away from some of these AI names. And this would be another place to go if you were looking to get something maybe in your portfolio that you don't have and you've been wondering about. And that is, again, $105 name just a week and a half ago, now down to $65. And I was going to say, like, whenever we looked at it, we sold some SMR. We basically nailed that top perfectly. And we also nailed the bottom in SMR. We just didn't pull the trigger down there at $33. I feel like you're going to think about the same type of thing here when this comes into 60. This looks like, to me, a great level of support. We bounced off here the 50-period moving average. This is well after all the news and everything. And even if it comes back in, rare earths are going to be a thing. There's some here in Canada. There's Australia has some as well. It doesn't have to be just a China-only play. So let's not get too excited here that this can't fall all the way back in, but we do know the U.S. government is taking a stake here, so we do like some of the metals names for sure. The other one, USAR, they're being down almost 10%. May give some juice to that. Look, I've been asking you guys all morning, what do you guys want to trade? Dane Generous is in the chat all the time. He says NVTS and AMD, as well as looking to trim some Amazon. I like that play. Amazon near highs. If you're nervous about any of the reports coming out, why not take a little bit off and then see what winds up happening? Play with some house money there. I like that on Amazon. Dirt Nerd says Beyond Meat. He likes that, or she likes that. Lots of room there in Apple and Meta. Not sure which way. I believe to the upside for Meta. Apple might be full. We'll wait to see there. Edimus, T-Doc, and of course Tesla. And here's Tanner, GME, BYND, GameStop. We know where you're looking. Tilray, SNDL, of course. That's a big marijuana name. Not big, none of them are big anymore, but two good ones there as well. Good morning to you, Beam. Good morning, says B-Side, and good morning to you. Astis, NNVC, GameStop, they're all here. Oh, Market Junkie is shorting the Jays. Well, we'll see. Tonight is the one maybe where we get involved with maybe not the greatest pitching matchups for us starting now, moving forward, but I still feel good about everything, and we could sneak away one game. Our bats could get hot. I mean, that's what happens. Maybe this is the 2-1 game that we wind up winning. Yeah, they didn't look good against Yamamoto, but
he's a different beast.
But he's like you were saying before, he's that true #1. So we'll wait to see.
He's the race.
You know, nobody all season pitched back-to-back shutouts. This guy did it in the playoffs against the two teams.
Nobody does
that have the high. Yeah, and
Nobody.
He's did it the first time this year of any pitcher in Major League Baseball. He did it in the playoffs, and he did it against the two best teams in baseball. Can't do it against his own team.
No, there's only like 3 guys in baseball that you're like Skubal, Yamamoto, and Skeens. Like those
what the
three
guy
dudes
did was just crazy.
Those three dudes are ridiculous. That's why no one wanted to, that's why you were afraid of the Tigers, because they have like a true ace. There's very few left in the game.
Yeah.
We have a guy who, like, Max used to be one, but that was like 10 years ago. Now he's like.
Now I think now the thing is Max could never do that because we're pulling him after 5.
No, but he can't.
He could almost have a no-hitter in 5 innings. I think he's gone.
Of course, he's 42 years old.
Not taking that risk.
No, he's not gonna.
Over there. Yamamoto's taking notes in the dugout.
We had a few super chats before we get back up to the desk. But we got another one from Control Alt Escape. Thank you very much. SoFi earnings hype. Let's go. We love some SoFi, but I do know we had, and shout out to you for that, SoFi finally closing above that 29. So that breakout is definitely incoming. We had one, check.
Ooh,
my bad. Nice Corey as well. Thank you for the super chat. And then Adam James, please take a look at SLGB and offer opinions. SL. So thank you for the super chat as always. Smart logistics, decent volume, but unfortunately, on the wrong end of the V. Anything that makes its high in the pre-market that distinctly, you're going to be in trouble with. They must have, I don't know. A lot of times I see that and I'm like, did they drop an offering? The only good news here is at least you've got a 250 support. I'm going to double check because hopefully they did not drop an offering on everybody, but it looks like they did. Yeah, they closed their initial, No, actually I don't even see any news for it. Well, I don't even see the news on this. My first thought was, okay, pump and dump, not really moving right now. Since I've called it up, there hasn't even been a print since I've called it up. Like my time in sales is like it's frozen. It's barely even moving. So I don't think there's any interest here and I can't find a story on it. So not much to offer you except I do not like names that do this at all. Like where it makes that kind of a distinct high in the pre-market. So that's a hard pass for me on SLGB. And if there is a story that we're unaware of, we'll have to go try and find it. But I see nothing on that. Let's go talk about some semis, which are all gapped higher, led by Micron, AMD, NVIDIA. Which one?
Yeah, we'll get to Micron in a second, Neil, but yes, absolutely. So U.S. chip stocks jumped higher here in the pre-market after, of course, U.S. and Chinese officials outlined a possible framework for a potential trade deal over the weekend. President Trump commenting over the weekend, quote, "I've got a lot of respect for President Xi, and I think we're going to come away with a deal. Good to hear. A potential, of course, for U.S.-China trade agreement is being viewed as a positive catalyst for the semiconductor supply chain, which has been hampered, of course, by tariffs and export restrictions. We know Chinese officials, the regulators there, were dissuading some of the tech companies from buying NVIDIA's chips. Possibly this brings an end to that. Let's bring in Micron, though. Citi's analyst Christopher Danley raised the price target from Micron from 240 to 275. Reaffirming that buy rating. He sees unprecedented strength in DRAM pricing, and he's forecasting a 25% jump in Q4 versus Q3. That Adara marks the largest quarter-over-quarter increase for the company since the 1990s, with earnings set to climb possibly here 20% quarter-over-quarter.
Yeah, if they actually get that increase, that'd be a great look for MU. We know analysts seem to be really bullish on this one as of late. Now, I do want to talk here again a bit more generally about the semiconductor space. AMD really strong here as well. Advanced Micro Devices rallying to new all-time highs yesterday, actually closing more or less near all-time highs, on Friday after that IBM quantum deal there. Basically, IBM, which previously announced a quantum deal with AMD, reportedly had a strong result there when using AMD's chips with regards to quantum. So good look there for AMD still as well. I've said it many times that I think with regards to the China and U.S. chip situation, it's not going to be resolved unless there is a clear change in the dynamics between the countries. Hopefully we get something resembling that when we have this meeting between Xi and Trump. Interesting take here, guys, from Micron. Apparently, the limited chip supply for DRAM has pushed the spot prices for DRAM up 50% in 2 weeks. Some of the tech companies reporting.
Yeah, look, so Micron's up 3%. However, all-time high Micron, and underneath VWAP. Like actually been pulling back and trending a little bit to the downside here. And then you look at NVIDIA as well. Ignore that print, just big dark pool print. But gapped up a couple points as well, trending down underneath VWAP. AMD, little bit stronger. Again, only up 2%, so they're all in the same range, 2 to like 2.8%. But this one's holding some higher lows here. Above the volume weighted average price, and sort of looking at all three of them as being strong. And don't get me wrong, like if if I find myself in the first like 15 minutes trading the wrong semi-name, then you can hop over and say, look, I just want to join the right one. No issues doing that. But AMD, you've got pre-market low to work off of. You've got 260 breakout, and then we can talk about the prior high at 254. So all three of those opportunities here. I just prefer this one because it's showing a little more strength here in the pre-market. And ultimately, I don't think you want to get too trapped. Like if you get a false breakout on any of these through the high, and then we're slapping back underneath the volume weighted average price really quickly, like give it a beat. Like you can be patient off of the open. Sometimes they break and then just go right away. But other times, and I don't have an example on a chip name because they're strong on Friday, but a lot of times, sometimes you can break that trade out and next thing you know, you're all the way back at that pre-market low. Let it settle down. When it's a dip buy, it tends to be a little bit trickier, and you can wait 10, 15 minutes before you make that perfect bottom. A lot of times it's a little bit too early on the dip buy. I'm going to try not to be today.
All right, for AMD, I have it as, the number one idea here for my notes. So we're going to try to make sure that we respect that today and just, stay in the pocket that we want to be in. So right there for AMD, I just think long, if we can get 257 dip, that'd be great. But I also don't mind here the 260. So I was just writing down that we do have, a bunch of consolidation that's happened over there. It's now broken through it, so that's fine. But that's the reason why we want to continue to play the momentum. Up 2% right now, continues to rip. I mean, Friday was such a momentum day for AMD. It got going, and then although it did settle down, I mean, the market went to sleep for a while, but then it got going again right near the end of the day and started to pick itself up. So there's the 200 period moving average. We always write that thing down. That's at 257. So dip buy opportunities into 257 for me on Micron is great. We did sell some Marvell. We didn't, whoopsies, that's the wrong one. We didn't get any back, but I like the way this stock is also looking out right now. It's making its trek on the way back to the upside. It does come in a little bit into the 50-period moving average, but now it's been 5 straight bounce days back up into the $90 area. I kind of like this one bouncing off of, again, the 200 period. I think Marvell can work longer here as well. And then a name that we don't trade too often. We will have NVIDIA on our mind today for sure, but Broadcom is just another one of those names that I feel it's like anytime it dips down, you really want to get involved with this because it keeps on ripping, man. And you're almost back to all-time highs. The whole space hit all-time highs. And the only thing that I don't really want to go long on, which had a good report, is Intel. There's Broadcom there, 260, 264. If we get any dip buys in this one, it's up 2%. So whenever there's these rips, you want to wait for VWAP, but you're sort of underneath it now with the markets pulled back just a little bit here. So 260, a good level for that one. And then Intel, which we don't have on our board, I don't think. No, okay, that's good. So Intel, if there's going to be one that we're going to short, unfortunately, it would be this. I said that, nice report, nice move to the high side. I didn't sell any up here. I've been selling some Intel, some of those bags all the way up, and we've been good getting out in and around this area. But I still think that the short pressure on this day may be here, and you're only up 0.5. This could be the complete opposite, right? This could be a pickup name where people are saying, what is the market doing? Okay, it's ripping. What's a name that had a decent report? Intel, it got hit. Maybe there's some strength here to buy back into these dips. So if you're going long on Intel, just watch out for this 37.75 break, whatever this low is right there. I mean, it's 39, but 38, sorry. If it breaks it, give it a couple pennies. $38 for Intel if you're looking for a bid, but I'm actually looking for a short. So if we can climb up to these peaks right here, that's 39 bucks. I think that's looking short there for Intel. But yeah, it's risky buying this AMD through the highs. Like if the market tanks, it's not going to be good. So we'll try it there, but you can see it already tried to go a little bit there, and that's at 8 o'clock. So we do have a lot of dark pools and everything going in on that. I looked at what we did there when we took that high. 244, that happened immediately. It didn't stop till 250. Like it went $6 straight to the upside, and you were also buying highs that day, right? Like why was 244? I mean, that's 244 there. So you get like a much bigger level break than just right now where you're just saying, hey, let's basically take out the pre-market high. So I do have it written there. I want to be here for a good time, but hopefully not a long time if it breaks through. I mean, watch out for 259 breaking on the way back in. So this could be an easy 0 for 1 right off the jump here on AMD, but I think the momentum justifies the action. So we'll wait to see if it takes out that 260. And hey, man, if it doesn't and we fade back, we can always get out at VWAP around 259, and then we'll say, okay, we're 0 for 1, and we'll look to get it again. So I like AMD here with only 10 minutes to go.
Was in focus last week on Thursday specifically as the Wall Street Journal reported that the Trump administration was possibly looking to take a stake into several different quantum names. The Commerce Department, for their part, came out later that day on Thursday and denied the reports to NBC News. Again, today we're getting reports that the Trump administration has accelerated investment into quantum computing names. For example, D-Wave, which trades under the ticker QBTS IONQ, as well, Rigetti, all through the Commerce Department. Despite, of course, rising excitement, analysts are cautious here that the industry remains very speculative, as most companies are still years away from commercial profitability. Just to give you an idea here, all these names have been burning through cash, with D-Wave trading at 310 times sales. Likewise with IONQ around 340. Rigetti, the best of the bunch here, trading nearly about 150 times, with really no or little visibility to profit. Adara, what do you make of all this?
I think it's worth noting here, too, all of these names have fairly large short floats. I would say above 10% last I saw. And I want to mention as well, one notable individual who is short is Pharma Bro Martin Shkreli. He shared a whole bunch of posts and thoughts on this on Thursday and Friday, specifically with regards to a potential investment in quantum from the U.S. government, saying that he did not stand for it. He actually hosted a debate with quantum bulls on X live streams here on Friday. So keep in mind the short float on these as well, guys.
All right, guys. QBTS, almost 4% in the green here. What's the move?
First thing, IONQ is actually a buy and balance, small one, 350,000. QBTS is also a buy and balance of 500,000. So both of those to the upside. Rigetti does not have one, and I don't know. I don't necessarily love this until it gets over 41. You know, it just, the rejection on Friday of that breakout distinctly held underneath 41. You can see like sharp down and then hold resistance, and the same thing on Thursday afternoon. So if this can't get back above the 41 price, it's almost like the other direction. I'm going to pay for low case just in case. Because if I see it fail to 41, I actually think I'm going to add this for a potential short if it does any kind of fail break and reversion off of the 41 level. So that's the big over-under for me, and it'll be on Rigetti that I'll be watching. In particular, kind of feel like there is more room if it wants to get back down into the low 30s, but I'm going to key off the one level at 41 because we're there.
All right, man. Tweet response of the day goes to my guy over here, or girl, I guess, Theta Burn. Happy Sports Equinox Day today. You've got NFL, you've got MLB, you've got NHL, you've got NBA. Shout out to my wife. Thank you for pointing that out to me. I tweeted it out. And then the Theta Burn goes, it's sports' own quad witching. So I really love that one. So shout out to you there. NFL, MLB, NHL, NBA, and minor hockey, my favorite, which is where I see my daughter. So she's tonight playing hockey at Ford. I'll be there immediately after the show. But okay, so quantum, so happy sports quad witching day. Yeah, I've already said that I like IONQ the best. I don't know, just it sets up, it always seems to set up nicely and trade pretty good. There's a nice little, I don't know why these are red there, but so it's been nice couple up days in a row here. We've already talked about it. The reason why I like it, it bounced pretty clean off the 50-period moving average, and now it continues to go higher. So this break rate there of $66 is something to look at for IONQ. I know it's only at 62, so that would be an interesting break there. You are starting to make a move down, it looks like, in the pre-market. So I do think there is an opportunity to get long in and around yesterday's mark, which would be Friday's closing price of 61 bucks. So I do think there's an opportunity to get back down in here, especially if the market gives it up a little bit here right off the jump. So nice downside play there in the NQ to start the day. It's not that it's even downside, but it is a little bit. I would say that these guys could fall back here. And I don't know if we ever got confirmation. Did we, Adara, that the government actually wind up taking stakes in any of these names, or at least?
Nope.
Yeah, no. So
No, not at all. Not even close.
Okay, so yeah, maybe there is some downside pressure here if and when, it finally gets, Derek already said no, but maybe they come out and confirm no, which would be negative for that, or they confirm yes, and then we can trade the news off of it. So I would say don't get too excited with these names, but if you're looking for a break, again, I like 66, but the top there is 64. You made that first thing on Friday, then we fell in the rest of the day when we sort of lost the steam there. I could see this losing steam again, and if it does, let's see if it picks back up around this 60 to 61 mark. So yeah, IONQ, I don't think you need to focus on them all. They'll try to move in tandem, so pick one that you like and go for her.
A little Tesla getting the nod today from Cantor Fitzgerald. Analyst Andreas Shepard raising the price target there from $355 all the way up to $510 and reiterating that overweight rating. The move for him really reflects the increased confidence in Tesla's multi-year expansion roadmap. Specifically, he points out energy storage, autonomy, and robotics. Of course, some of the biggest name or sectors in Tesla we've been talking about. Tesla did disclose plans for a significant increase in CapEx, something we haven't really seen on any of the recent earnings report, talking about the next 2 years. Cantor is modeling here $9.2 billion for full year 2025 CapEx and about $12 billion for full year 26, really primarily here to fund factory expansion and AI infrastructure. They remain bullish on Tesla's ecosystem model, and they're emphasizing the cross-segment synergies. What are we talking about? We're talking about FSD and Cybercab. We're talking about the energy storage and the megapacks. And Adara, we're talking about Optimus as they look to get into scale next year.
Yeah, we'll have to see here if these production targets that were given by Elon Musk and Tesla hold, then I think certainly a good look there for Cantor Fitzgerald and for these estimates. But again, production targets for Tesla are, as we know, always sometimes a bit speculative. I want to mention as well, we had quite the series of interesting comments coming from Robin Denham, who is the chairperson of Tesla's board this morning on CNBC. It looks like she started around 8 a.m., 8:15 as far as I could tell. She basically said during this interview that Tesla could risk losing Elon Musk as a CEO if the board does, or I guess not the board, the shareholders do not approve his $1 trillion pay package. She's also encouraging shareholders to vote for proposals 1, 3, and 4 at the AGM, which is going to take place here on November 6th. So again, keep an eye here on Tesla with regards to this shareholder meeting. Seems like the stakes are pretty high.
Trading below 440, guys, up a little bit less than 1.5. What's your look?
Yeah, underneath that 440, but this was, we talk about the cautionary tale for AMD breaking out. I don't think it would do what Tesla did, but that's sort of the notion. Like, if anything does a false break Monday morning, I think Mondays and Fridays are the riskiest in terms of those early breakouts. And so this one's one that if it does it, sometimes you fade all day. But the interesting level for me is 441.5 to 442. I'll call it 442 because we'll just go with the round number. Obvious resistance to support, and then even bounced off there Thursday, and then afternoon resistance. So that's kind of the level. And I'm not going to play this one at the open. Like the way that traded on Friday, like I don't want any piece of this instantly. But if we are holding above 442, that's a join area for me. And if it does a false break, if I see a topping tail candle like this on the 15-minute at that 42 level failing, then I'm going to look short on Tesla. I'm just willing to play whichever direction it wants to go off of that key price level. So we're going to stay away from that one specifically right at 9:30 for any breakouts.
Yeah, look, I don't have any plans for Tesla today unless we get, I mean, this is just a 5-minute chart going back to last week. So if you break this 450, I think it's an easy trade. I mean, you just got to wait for that to come through, 450. Or, I mean, I think the short, Forte, it's up 1.4%. If we go from 440 to 450, I think the first trade would be looking short. So I think that would be a short area. And then also, like, the only, time that we broke was gap fill. And then we kept on going lower on this day, right? This was Friday, right? Yeah, no, this was Thursday. Moved down into there where we did have earnings last week. So you're going to wait to see, and I just think we're too far away to worry about any of these longs, but I'll just move it up right here to go $10 the other way. So from 440 down to 430, I think that would be your first opportunity at a long, and I think that's your first opportunity at a short. So until something happens in those areas, keep us in tune with all of those plays, and we'll be here, and we'll look at them. So for me, you could sit right now at 449 with an offer or sit at 331 with a bid. I kind of like either one of those. So let's just wait to see what happens with Tesla momentum. We did take the 450 break when it happened the first time right here on Friday, and then it just whacked right down, right? We got smoked on that one, and that was the end of that. So, yeah, it was not a great day for Tesla there unless you were short. So I don't want to get too carried away with it. Only a minute left. Do we want to talk about KDP or what?
But Keurig Dr Pepper just trading below 10%. I saw it above 10% here to start the pre-market. Fantastic report, guys, and really driven here by coffee. Let's talk about it. So net income, their profitability, $662 million in take-home money on the quarter, up from $616 last year, with adjusted EPS coming in line, 54 pennies per share. Revenue beating expectations, printing $4.31 billion in revenue ahead of the $4.15 billion expected by the street. The growth here was driven, as I mentioned, by higher coffee prices offsetting modest volume declines. Guys, it looks like we're going to start the bell. All right, let's ring that bell. We're brought to you by Origenics, guys. Kill it over there. 2, 1, hey.
Open. Yeah, the market's trying to come down a little bit. Here goes AMD into 257, pretty clean right there, pretty quickly as well. Down into 257 goes AMD. Palantir, also another name that I'm looking to go long on. Here that comes through 190. We'll see if that breaks. That's also trying to bounce off VWAP off a nice little dip by opportunity early at 188 and change. I'm going long through 190, but it's okay. We might have just got something right there. What was that? Was that Palantir? There it goes. So there goes Palantir, instant break. So yeah, so far so good, man. We'll see if we can get 75 cents. Well, we got 20. So there it is, a nice little break higher right now on Palantir. And again, we wrote this down. We had this on Friday, and there it goes, a nice move up there for Palantir. It's your first dollar almost there, but well, now there it is. Now it's a dollar. Palantir trying to go, but there's a lot of printing back and forth right now, man. Any of these names could easily drop back in as it might go a dollar the other way. So a good couple outs there for Palantir, but there it goes, man. Well, falling in now, PLTR.
Oh, there was a name that we didn't get to. Trade Desk on Friday. Remember, Trade Desk had that news, got punked by, well, if Amazon's coming to your space, you're going to get
You're gonna feel some.
I can't come up with a better word than screwed. So I've been looking short on this one today. I don't think we see 55, which was resistance before, but it just did a false break of 53 in the pre-market high. So this might be the first trade for myself to get into traders. I said that stock did not look very good. It was already had a seller that was holding it the entirety of the week last week. So looking for Trade Desk to the south side. Open Door was another name on watch for me, but it's not going to break out 840 if it keeps going down like this. So yeah, no breakout there for Open Door. Unfortunately, here at the open, if you were looking for that one to get going, not much flying higher. And here comes AMD right into that prior day high. Remember we said anything dips, then I got to be very, very patient as that one's coming in really, really quickly.
Yeah, we're trying to buy all of these as well. We've got a big time win. We're already at our daily goal here with Palantir as it starts to rip even higher right now. Now we're up almost in the money, $2 now on PLTR. Good trade, finally working out for us. It did go down against us there, but we take some more as it breaks through 190, of course, and that was our trade of the day for me so far. And then here we go, man. We weren't afraid of getting some AMD, but we didn't get our full take right now. This is now 30 cents in the money for advanced micro devices. As the market just made a move higher, now it's coming back in. So watch out there. We'll take out a little bit of advanced micro devices, and we'll have to watch out for our friend, of course, Palantir and Alex Karp. So this one continues to climb higher. You can put out whatever price you want, and you may get it here on Palantir, both on the high and the low side. I mean, this is ripping around like there's no liquidity here at all, up and down $1 in 15 seconds here for PLTR. But hey, man, I really like AMD. We got AMD, we got Palantir. We're over $1 in the money right now. So we're going to spin it on both of these names if you add them together. Palantir is $1, AMD's 30 cents. But I don't know, man. I kind of want to wait to see if there's anything happening right now. So 225.50 is what we'll do on this one. And hey, if this breaks 253.50, we're going to be out. Like that was a nice dip by opportunity there, but it may not last. So let's put that in right now. 253. I was going to give it to 50. I mean, we're coming into that right now immediately. So 253.48, we're going to get stopped out, okay? So that's going to be my trade there. And we're going to watch out for that Palantir as well.
YYAI, you might remember that one from a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, actually halted to the downside. Forgot they did that reverse split.
Oh, okay.
So I think it was 51 to 50, I believe, and already halted down because why not? That's what stocks do. So we'll see when that one opens up. 3 things have happened. I got Trade Desk short, was in MARA off that 20 level, and then immediately did not hold 20. So I'll jump out of that. Lost it at 19.95. I do like the level, but let's let it calm down a bit. here. And then AMD did bounce off of 254. It just tagged 55 again. So it's been bouncing off this 54 level. We'll give it a couple of cracks in here. It's still early. My future, it's crazy. Like the futures are not really even moving all that much. We broke the high and we're just sort of chilling out here. Like bounced off VWAP, broke the high, but just sitting inside of the range. So no distinct direction here yet on the Nasdaq. Is here comes AMD again into that 54. I was able to get a fill in front of 55, but I'm reloading this to the long side and also short the trade desk. That's just a continuation play from, I keep wanting to say yesterday, but that's from Friday, right? The afternoon news on Friday was at $54. I'm shorting into the pre-market high here.
All right, yeah, look, we did good to get out of some of these trades, but they are coming back in, as Neil had mentioned there, so we're going to watch out for that AMD. And again, we had rang the registers because we're long at 254.60s there. It did come in, and we were able to get some out there. So we'll hold it on right now and see if there is some levels breaking upside or downside. But here's the move back in right now. So Palantir continues to go lower. We were really happy with this trade, and we did cash some out. And like I said, this is not for the faint of heart right there, as like straight up, and then now right back in for Sir Palantir and Alex Karp making some moves right now. So we'll see if we can get a dip buy opportunity in that one. But it is, I don't know, just putting your bids there, I think, are the best chances just to get filled, because that like just went down 60 cents and then right back up within the same minute. I did try to dip buy something there. Now look at this thing go. All right, maybe we'll just dip by a little bit here at 189, but I want to get a little lower just to see. Oh, our position boards are off. That's okay. Maybe they can fix that at some point. But that dip down below here, we don't want to get too run over there. So if we break 187.50, then we'll get out. But let's see if Palantir wants to work. A shame we didn't dip by that. We just talked too much there, which no surprise. But we'll see here what's going on with Palantir. It's the name that I'm on board with. And Tesla, there's 440, so it does get upside a little bit, but not enough to hit any key levels there. GameStop could be one that a lot of traders are looking at. So GME here today off that Trump tweet, looks like it is downside play there. So not everything can save GameStop right now, but hey, we are getting saved by AMD. Nice play back up to the upside here on Advanced Micro.
Yeah, it just filled 55 again, so get going up. It's holding that prior high at 54, but it needs to get to the volume weighted average price here and start looking a little bit better.
Oh boy.
I can smell the eggs, and they smell absolutely delicious. You already mentioned GameStop there. They're not really a crypto play, but I mean, they're kind of like halfway, somewhat adjacent. But IBIT pulling back in. There's a lot of room to 64.5, but if it gets there, that's where I want to buy the dip on IBIT. And then small cappers. I see a lot of small cappers in there. We'll try to get to them as the market comes on. So maybe slows down or makes a direction. Rigetti on the quantum space is now bouncing and looking to get to that 41 price level. So that's that key price on Rigetti that I'm eyeballing. Market's just going back and forth, only really the AMD long, but watch out for Rigetti here at 41. If it breaks 41, my plan is to fade it if it does any kind of a fail at the 41 level. It's freezing.
All right, we are very, very big now. Palantir, it's too bad because Palantir, we could have been like, it just missed it. But wow, there it is, man. We are now 2 times our daily goal today with just AMD. Like, these are our top 2 trades, right? So here's Palantir right now. Happy sports witching day again. Shout out to Theta Burn there as all 4 sports going. We got AMD right there, and we got Palantir. So both of these longs right now kicking, man, and we're up $1 on each of them. So it's been a good day so far. Make sure you do hit the like and the subscribe. Let me see how many of you are subscribed right now. 78.2. So 1 out of every 5 of you got to hit that button right now. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Oh my gosh, it is Palantir's world, and we're all living in it right now. Now up in the money at $1.70 on PLTR. Neil's got Trade Desk. I've got AMD. We both got AMD and Palantir. What up, Adara?
Just want to let you guys know here about TSLA, which is pushing higher. We talked this morning about the Cantor Fitzgerald price target increase, and also the fact that the chairperson of the board was on CNBC today encouraging shareholders to vote on behalf of Elon's pay package. But I'm also seeing here Morgan Stanley with a positive note saying that Tesla's robotaxi has solved the robotaxi autonomy issue, mentioning how they're expecting safety driver-free cars soon in Austin. Also seeing a positive note here from UBS on AAPL. So lots of analyst notes here for these Mag 7 names. Again, 5 of these names actually reporting earnings this week. Back to you.
Thank you, Darren. And Tesla looking incredibly strong. So it's holding over that 442 level. I mean, that's obvious, as you can see. So I guess, yeah, I'll join it. I mean, we said that's the key level. All it has to do is hold on to this in the opening range. It's been 10 minutes, and it's looking pretty good. Only short, was the only short idea that I had, was the trade desk. And it was from Friday's news. I don't think it has Friday's move in it, but it just played off of this pre-market high, back in. It just broke VWAP, so took the first trade off there at 52.30. Gonna look for 52 and then see if this one wants to go lower. I feel like this has a decent possibility to at least ignore what the market is doing, but it's still tech stock, right? So at the end of the day, like trade desk, if the market ends up breaking out the highs, I'll just jump out if it breaks that 52.885 as I'm trying to fight a sneeze. All right. I love when you hold it off. It's like, oh, it's imminent, and then you.
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes that's the best. NVIDIA cracking higher and about to break pre-market highs. Still love AMD a little bit more, as I want that to get to the volume weighted average price.
Yes.
Right now, it's relatively weak. Like it's underneath VWAP when NVIDIA is breaking out. So I always try to respect that. If we can't get through VWAP, then I move on to the next available trade here. 256 is the level I like right now on AMD.
I like you a lot. We can hopefully get much back higher than 256, but we're ringing the registers on AMD. We're out of more than half now. We only have about 30% or so left. How much of your AMD do you have left?
Quarter.
Okay, so yeah, so we're trying to empty out some of these clips right there. So out a whole bunch there at 256, man. So, you know, putting on some positions there, getting it out. Hopefully it comes back up. I mean, you can see now it's dripping down. Neil just mentioned that NVIDIA. It's a good thing we have Palantir, so we don't have to worry too much about this move down. But there goes NVIDIA. They're going the other way right now. It is a big tank just right now on AMD. I don't know what that was all about. Back down into 254 and change. I am bidding down there again. So if that does happen again, give me that trade. If it comes back into that, we'll put some more bids down there.
Intel's going ham.
You just missed that into 40s there. That's too bad. All right, so Palantir tries to go. We just got another piece there at 192, so that looks like that's going to be a good trade for us thus far on that. So yeah, so far so good here on Advanced Micro Devices. Like I said, we've taken a bunch out. We've taken a bunch out of Palantir. We're at 2 times our goal, which is good, but you know, it doesn't really, like I said, everybody's goal is going to be different. So put yours wherever yours is. And the reason why I talk like that is just to say, like, you know, you don't have to be here for a long time, just a good time, but we want you here for a long time. Make sure you do hit that like and that subscribe right now on the stream. And if you want to be part of it, our chat, we show our chat all the time. That's how you got to get there, is be part of this team. And right now we have 1K likes. So we want to say thank you to everybody who's watching right now. We have over 10,400 of you watching. So hit that like button and let's get going, man. We're 2 for 2, pretty good trades so far here today. And we'll look to see our GME, Palantir, and the TQs was the other idea that we had. But here we go. Nice little movement to the downside. Good out again on Palantir, 190, 150. I'm going to take that opportunity to get out another piece right here at 14s. Because, you know, the futures, although I'd love for them to start ripping higher right now, they're kind of just stuck in the middle right now and unsure what to do. Just like the Blue Jays Dodgers World Series right now, 1-1. Like, which way, right? So right now, Palantir's trying to do that, and AMD is on a tank back down to the downside.
Yeah, it tagged at 56.
Yeah.
Fortunately, was able to get out there at the 56, but I'm right back in underneath that 55 level. So playing the dip buy into 54, it's just prior day highs. But AMD is relatively weak. And as far as I'm concerned, I should say, look at NVIDIA. It's making higher lows. So I said I'm willing to jump onto the ship that looks the strongest. If that's the case, it's holding my level AMD at 54, so I still like it. But I might jump over and see if we break the low, I might jump over to NVIDIA and look for that for the dip buy. You still don't even have a completed 15-minute candle here on that Nasdaq. Right? Like, all you've done is rinse underneath VWAP for a little bit and then have a bit of a topping tail at the high of the day. So it's just a chop fest, and if a stock is at your range, then play inside of the range, scalp it, wait for that distinct direction to form, and then try to hold on. So, you know, just buying the dips into VWAP and see if we can't get it out. Trade desk is still working just fine. And it's not just the chip names that are rallying. We talked about SoFi being strong. Look at Robinhood. Robbing from the, well, I mean, not robbing from anybody. Just giving everybody the goods, up 5%, and new fresh tops. Looks like this one is possibly headed for its all-time high. Only a couple of dollars away for Robinhood as we speak. SoFi, as we already mentioned, well, I'm pretty sure we mentioned this in the pre-market. We had a super chat about it. SoFi looking to break out its high as well today on the daily. So lots of strength across the board. That said, crypto has not been participating yet. We've seen this before with Bitcoin, though. So many times it's weak or it's nothing off the open, but it can catch a little bit of a bid later. Sometimes it's chop. We've seen the chop before, and then it trends up. So that first 15 minutes sometimes can be a trap, I think, in Bitcoin, and then you get a direction. Trap up, go down. Trap down, go up. I'm willing to wait for this to get back above VWAP to jump in. It's not going to get to my 64.5 at this rate, though.
All right, we're going to get out some more advanced micro devices. I mean, you know, I'm watching the P&L just go back and forth right now, and it's like, I don't know, try to take advantage when it's going back to the upside, and I can see clearly that is what's happening. You know, get into the chat. We already talked about this today. This is what you guys have voted for so far, right? You're looking for ASST. You got 58 of you have voted to look at that name, so we can have a quick look there. Excuse me, up 31% right now is ASST. NVIDIA's coming, AMD's coming back down, by the way, right now. All right, so AMD, UMAC, we talked about some of those. Is this right? UMAC is up that much today? No, is it? Okay, all right, so there we go. It's another metals name. SoFi, $29.92. Did it just fall back in? Okay, these are the right prices. So Netflix breaks below 1,100. That might be something to look at there as well. Intel up to 40 bucks. That could be a good short. We've looked at that. 445 for Tesla as well. There's Robinhood. Neil just mentioned it. So these are some of the names that you guys are looking at. We can quickly look at ASST right now because that is the #1 name on everybody's mind, ASST. So there it is, Strive with a nice move higher there. Oh, AMD just cracked.
Broke. I'm out. It broke 54. So I took the reload out on AMD, and right now I'm looking for a reversion on Rigetti at that 40. Rigetti got to that 41 price. So I said if Rigetti got here, then I would look for a trend break on RGTI. Oh my goodness. And it's already a VWAP. Wow. That dropped fast there on Rigetti. Try to get it through that 40. That was the right price, but the reversion was very, very quick, so I can go over and show you. Reloaded AMD, but the second it lost 54, I'm out. So 54 is the level, you lose it, I jump out of it and take the stop out. NVIDIA, willing to back the stronger horse, still at the high of the day. The NVIDIA is strong.
Yeah, so is Palantir.
But they're only a couple of points. Like, it's a 2.5% up, but it's still holding on to its strength much, much better than what we're seeing over in AMD, for sure. But yeah, that Rigetti, bit of a miss. That was pretty fast that it reversed through the top. I'll try. I left my order in there at 99. I'll see if I get picked up on the way back.
All right. Wow. Look at Target. I was not expecting this kind of a movement so fast in this name. You know, I might have to relook at the position here. We're long Target down here at 88 bucks. I'm going to go find when I tweeted it out. Hopefully some of you guys have joined us right there. It's a nice 10 or 15% upside there for Target. We reloaded right there. We got stopped out as well, but we reloaded right there, AMD. We got to stop out at the key price, but when it retakes it and we don't have a bottom print coming through for AMD, I'm just going to wait. We can use this where we got in as our next out, but let's reload it, put it right back in. Big stock again here today, AMD. Let's stick with our guts on that one and our instinct there and play that to the high side. Although we just had a dip down in the market, Palantir really is holding us right now. So this is turning out to be a good one. And I don't want to get out of everything here. We've just absorbed that downside take. Let's see if we get an upside move now. I mean, that's what I'm going to wait for. We did reload. AMD is weaker. I'm going to take out another piece here at 25s if we can get it. There it is. We'll get another piece out, and then we'll wait for 50s, and then maybe we can climb back into 256. There it is. Nice take there. Yes, sir. We're able. Yes, sir. There goes AMD. So good. A good little reload on that one. It does break, and we get out. So we did take a hit there on our first trade, getting out right there. Not on our first trade, but on that move, getting out, and we just reloaded it as we noticed. No real bottom there other than the level that broke, and then it bought it right back. So we tested it just a little bit more right there. So now we're about $1 in the money on Palantir and 70 cents in the money here on an AMD. I didn't get a chance to look at ASST because the market just tanked there and we went over and bought more. But yeah, this looks like a good little breaking spot right there, right? 153 here for Strive. That is on our watch list.
It was on the watch list.
Adara's over there. Do you want to bring that story, ASST, when you get a second? I know you're looking for other things. There we go.
So an individual by the name of Mike Alfred, who is also part of the Open Army, he was very bullish on Open Door, including on Friday morning. So this is just a little bit of context. So on Friday afternoon, around 3 p.m., Mike Alfred posts on X that he started an initial position of over 1 million shares in ASST. So that's his initial position in Strive Asset Management. The stock was sharply higher right after that post.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, Adara, for that one. As we just double check all of that. So it looks like it is going to try to take out the tops right now. So I think the long right there, you know, on that story, million shares, I think that's going to work out. But again, it was just $1. Now it's up to $1.50. So be careful. Remember, the rich are getting richer off of all of us hitting the buy keys. So be careful with that one. Palantir, just more outs, man. I mean, I don't know. I think I'm trading this pretty well other than not buying the dips. As we can bring back up to 191.50 right here on PLTR. I'm going to take one more out in the 30s and a good bunch of outs there in AMD as well. But this is starting to fall back in. We have less than half. I only have a quarter left of this reloaded position. A little nervous here as the futures continue to make not new lows, but not new highs either. It's still stuck in the middle. We just came up to that high and faded.
Yeah, very much the same thing as the opening candle. Like, we just cannot seem to break out the high, but we're also zoom in. There you go. But we're also holding on to the volume weighted average price there. So I did get stopped out of Mara when it lost the 20 level, but now it's above VWAP. And it still closes above the prior high. So like that strength, I'm gonna go long in front of VWAP, give it to that prior high, which is this wick here at 20.5, 20.05, I should say, not 20.5. If it got to 20.5, that'd be just great. But also watching Bitcoin. IBIT is back into the volume weighted average price. This has a chance, a real chance to hold above VWAP. I think I might be in both of them. For now, I'll stick with Mara. I'm not opposed to being both of them at the same time, but I am watching out for NVIDIA. I stepped away from AMD and said, look, if I'm gonna go back, even if AMD holds that 54 level, right now, NVIDIA just seems to be stronger. Well, right now, NVIDIA is at that volume weighted average price and trying to hold on to it. So higher lows, I mean, it's putting in higher lows if it holds here. I can't really call it a higher low until I see some kind of a bounce off VWAP. If it does so, then I'm jumping in and trying to play this to NVIDIA. You had NVIDIA strong, you had Micron strong, but again, another name in the chip space, it's worse than AMD. AMD is actually doing much better than this, but Micron's already gone red here. So I think you got to back the right horse, at least try to back the right horse if you're going to be playing in these chip names. Also, we try to get to some of these small cappers for you. UMAC, which a lot of people have been mentioning, now up 23% and still trending higher. This has all kinds of resistance at the 16 to 16.5 range, so just be careful with that UMAC. It's NVIDIA that's on my mind now as the market's trying to dip. Gonna look for that play to go into the long and just willing to jump into something different. You know, AMD, again, making some lows. There's a nice bounce off the volume weighted average price, at least attempting to here on NVIDIA. So that's the one I'm going to jump over to. Oh, Willis Addison, thank you for the super chat, brother. Appreciate you. I don't have that page up, so I can't throw it up there. Like, sorry guys, I'll reload it earlier so I can put it on screen in that cool new graphic we have. Thank you there, Fabian, or I guess it was Andre that did that. Swung WK weekend gold puts. Trump and Xi talks. I like GLD. I know we just saw a note about silver as well.
Ooh.
Load, GLD at the lows. Market trying to break, hold that volume weighted average price. But both the market and gold, if you look at it, still range bound. You're in the pre-market range. It's down 2 points, great. And we're still in the midst of this dip that I think can get us to 350. But for now, it's still very much an inside morning. So I'd want to be scalping things out here, like taking some profit wherever it happens to lie, like in here, as Mara gets back up to the pre-market highs. I'm going to get some out on the top, right? Like we already took the hit going long into the dip, and we catch it on the way back through at VWAP. Make sure we get that profit, because we haven't broken out any tops yet. Yet is the key word.
All right, so yeah, we're just at the top for Palantir. So far so good on this one. And then look, man, we did it again. We did not reload one more time down here on AMD as that starts to take off again. So there it goes. Now we're $1. Now we're $1 in. All right, let's spin this. Now we're 250 in the money here, and we are at our day's high. I feel so much better with this new strategy of just like finding the best trades and trying to hold on to them, because when you do that, you get to experience, hopefully, some of these upside moves. And we're still being super responsible with everything, right? Like, we're getting out when we're stopping out at our spots. We're also getting out when key levels are hit, and then we're trying to absorb and make a higher play so that we can, you know, be part of this full run that's been extending, you know, all day, seems like anyways, into the close. So we'll see if this can happen here, as we have a lot of good news coming through, I'm thinking, including big time tech earnings this week. So, all right, so as Palantir continues to go higher, we don't have too many shares left. I think we're just gonna hold on to all of these. So buy, this is Jameson with Palantir. So you are 100% right on that one. Shout out to Hydration Nation right there. Hopefully you guys are doing well today. IBIT, wow, what a good dip opportunity. We put IBIT, yes, let's go AMD, man. AMD, we're now $3 in the money right now. Neil into Rigetti, so that's nice. We haven't talked quantum too much here today, so I hope that's good luck on that one. There goes AMD, and there goes Palantir, but I want to look somewhere else. That's what I was doing. It was IBIT. Sorry, I just have my positions on, so it's like, got to watch out for those. But IBIT came right into the 200 period. So all good. I mean, we don't have all the trades, obviously, but that was a great one, down to $65. So the next time, okay, now we're at day's high right now. So we're going to prop it up, man. We are at day's high right now for our trades. So far, so good here as the market tries to go. But yeah, IBIT right there at $65 would have been a buy. So let's see if we can get back into there, as Bitcoin right now at 115.5. So far, so good. Tesla, people want to look at that. I mean, did that break 450 yet? That was no. So that was the key level for me, is 450. We just keep on climbing, man. We keep on stair-stepping here. I like Tesla for sure. It is holding out right now, up 2.37%. Wasn't up as much in the pre-market. Now you're starting to extend, right? We saw better names like an AMD, a Palantir, and so on, but this has really made up for that with some good intraday trading, and especially bouncing off VWAP. So 443 coming into play here again for Palantir. I'm going to get, or sorry, for Tesla, for Palantir. I'm going to go and get some more out here at 93. There, wow, 192, and just this is just lifting, man. They're lifting the offers like it's going out of style. We're going to stay long on PLTR right now. If we can get that 192 quarter, I think that might be worth it. That's the high of the day. Let's just put an offer there, see if we get it. We'll go at 17s or so. Offer, enter. Here it comes, right back up. 10 more cents, and we have it on Palantir. We're at the highest. There it is. We're at the highest spot we've been at all day here for PLTR and for my net. So far, so good there. Over $3 now in the money on these two. And again, it's just the top two trades that I had on my board. It's AMD. We didn't look at GameStop yet, and Palantir. So these two top names are leading the day here today. And so far, so good. Yeah, GME's number 2. Well, you can go have a look at that.
GME's right back into Friday's highs as we speak. So, I mean, GameStop, the story wasn't really that big of a story on GameStop. Oh, we have a super chat here. ST, hold on a second. Patty
What's up?
Dubsky. Will it get strong enough to hold at 58 cents for another big breakout, or y'all hate those penny stocks? I don't hate penny stocks. I trade penny stocks. I love penny stocks. I mean, like, a trade's a trade. You just have to, you know, sometimes it's a little more, it's a little trickier to, you know, enter orders because of all the extra decimal points, but really just move the decimal point a couple over and treat like $6 stock. Here's the problem with STAI. It is 957. It's done 800,000 shares. A penny stock at this time of day, if it's in play, should be millions and millions of shares. This one is not. So not a lot of action whatsoever. So I don't find these very, very tradable unless they are in the millions of shares. But technically, it looks good. You get your higher low holding 50 cents. Always like it when it holds 50. It's just, I don't know what the catalyst to get to do volume is going to be from here, because it doesn't look like it's going to be very day tradable. But from a pure technical standpoint, it's doing the stair step up. So I feel good about those until they get to one of those bag hold levels, which looks like about the 75-cent level, like right in here, maybe a little bit lower into 67. Again, no volume whatsoever to make it remotely day tradable. Don't get me wrong, like, I'll trade just about anything, but volume required. Just very quickly, I know we're going to go to Adara, but took the shot the second time through on Rigetti at 41. It broke the prior high, but I'm going prior bar high on a reversion trade anyway, so it did work off 41. Remember, I chased and didn't get that fill. Let's go to Adara.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention there with STAI, Neil, I looked into it. No news. They did have a bit of a catalyst on, or I guess a press release on Wednesday morning, but nothing else for STAI.
Disconnected.
Yeah, well, Okay, hopefully everyone, I heard that they were there.
Yeah, I probably just not connected there. I went to
Okay,
go get a coffee, so.
On the way back through, looking for NVIDIA off VWAP. Didn't catch it the first time. Maybe a little bit too patient. This one holding higher lows still. And at least now I can say it's holding a trend because we have a couple of points to work off of. A little early to care too much about that, but I'll take it either way. VWAP, or if it bounces clean off the trend line, I'll respect that. MARA, along with the market, just eked the pre-market high here. I'm still looking to reload at the volume-weighted average price. It's also putting in higher lows after holding 20. Did take the hit initially on the trade and then jumped back into it through that volume-weighted average price. But just looking for some continued strength in MARA and Bitcoin.
Yeah.
We got 115 quarters right now. IBIT holding this top. I'm buying the dip on IBIT. I don't mind being in both this and MARA as they're both holding on to the trend and looking great. But we can't ignore, we've looked at every chip name except for the strongest one, which right now happens to be Intel. Intel, I couldn't tell you why it specifically is the strongest of the chip names. There's nothing about these China negotiations that would seem to make Intel much better, but that's just what's happening. Intel looks like it's super strong relative to all of the other ones in here. I see this kind of program buying, and I'm just going to wait for a chance to revert the trade. If there's no story here, I think there's going to be some kind of a quick little mean reversion scalp on Intel, but I can be patient with it. It's looking way too strong to try it too early.
All right, I think we got to go for Adara.
All
right, let's do it.
Yep.
Here's happening now, and honestly, there's so many things happening next week to be aware of, but one thing that's happening is a nice push higher here for the market, currently trading near intraday and pre-market highs here, up more than 1% for the Qs. S&P 500 also green on the day. Now, a lot of this excitement to the upside was inspired by comments from the Trump administration, including President Trump himself and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, suggesting that preliminary talks are going quite well with China ahead of Trump's meeting with President Xi of China on Thursday in South Korea. Now, this is a good look, as I said, for a lot of stocks, particularly semiconductors, but not a great look for these minerals plays, including CRML, critical metals. It's the one I have up here because these did very well on tensions between the countries. Now that these tensions seem to potentially have some resolution, these stocks are heading back to the downside. TSLA, certainly not to the downside here. Nice push higher. We did have a overweight rating and a $510 price target here from Cantor Fitzgerald. We also had Robin Denham, who is the chairperson of the board of Tesla, coming on CNBC, urging shareholders to vote for some proposals here at their meeting on November 6th, including for Elon Musk's $1 trillion pay package. Also, KDP, last but not least, Keurig Dr Pepper here with earnings. EPS in line, sales were a beat, guidance, so they actually raised for the fiscal year for sales. Before we send you back to the guys, we'll take a moment to thank our friends at Origenics. Each year, 3.8 million concussions are reported in the U.S., but there's still no FDA-approved treatment. NYSE-listed Origenics, OGEN, is changing that with its first in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. With the concussion treatment market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027, Origenics is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Learn more. Schedule a meeting today. OGEN. Back to you.
Adara, yeah, make sure you grab that OGEN information, especially if concussions is something that your families are talking about or whatever, or maybe you've recently know somebody that had one. Okay, so Palantir, I mean, we just had a little bit of a dip down there, not much. I'm now going to buy VWAP, so I'm going to sit here at 190.30. Hopefully we can get that. I'm going to use something like these little lows here as our out. So basically like a break of 190. I mean, if we can come in, take a 30, and then just watch out, that's 188. 80s, that wick down is 70. So what about that? Let's just go to a 189, right? See, that's how you screw up. 189. So 189, like 68 or so. If we break below that, then we can get out of that for PLTR. So we'll just put that in there and watch out. And then we are not, I don't know, I'm not super excited to reload this one, but I'll get it a little lower here. AMD's not trading properly. I mean, the market's at highs and AMD's is at lows. So I'm going to wait for 253 flat. That's where we'll stop out, and we'll average it in a little bit at 253.30 if it comes back into those areas. But right now, Tesla's on one, I guess, and Palantir waiting for a reload. But we be getting out here at 192. So that's $2. So we're just, I can see the net. We dripped down a little bit from this spot. We only have right now on Palantir less than 10% left of both of these positions. So I'm just trying to wait for some reloads and looking for other trades, right? So we'll just keep on doing that work. There was something I was looking at. Now that I went back to this, I can't remember. Something that Darryl was talking about. Maybe we'll look at some metal plays and quantum names coming up.
Yeah, I just quickly jumped out of IBIT here, but I'll get to Tesla. I know everyone's yelling about Tesla, but the way that this came back in here, already in MARA, so no need to kind of buy the dip on both simultaneously. So quickly jumped in and out of IBIT. We're going to hold on to MARA. We have breaking news, and I promise we'll talk Tesla.
Yeah, we have to talk about Qualcomm. Qualcomm massively to the upside here, announcing they're announcing here AI200 and AI250 accelerator chips and racks for data centers. These are going to be launched commercially in 2026 and 2027. Again, QCOM sharply to the upside here, unveiling some accelerator chips and racks for data centers, which will be launched here in 2026 and 2027. Back to you.
I mean, all these names just keep on getting fired.
Big news for Qualcomm there. Tesla, look, Tesla up 3 points. It is above that 442, so the resistance in the afternoon. This is a collision course with 450. Just try to remember what happened to if you were trading, you remember what happened at 450 on Friday, right? Like, let's be real. It was one of the most violent rejections of a breakout at the open that I've seen in quite some time. Like, I do not remember seeing something quite that violent in a while. So I would suspect there's going to be some sellers at the 450 level up there on Tesla. So try to respect it there. If it gets to VWAP, maybe that's going to be a bit of a play. I said I would wait very patiently for what looks like a potential top and a trend break on Intel. It's looking like it's doing one now, right into Friday's highs. No particular story as to why Intel's 5% when the rest of the chips are, half that. Some of them, I mean, Micron went red at one point here today, but this is a nice topping tail candle on the 3 into some resistance. So I'm going to take my first shot on Intel right in here and see if we can't get the reversion. If it gets to VWAP, that's almost always going to be target on a stock this strong. Like, I'm not trying to I think this is going to come all the way back into the bottoms. It's still a relatively strong market, but that's a setup I like in the absence of news here to make Intel this much stronger than everything else.
Right, so there comes AMD, man. It just came right into our levels, like we said, 253, and it's pretty weak. So we are going to be dumping out.
NVIDIA hit VWAP too.
Yeah, we're going to be dumping out of this one if we get this break. I mean, with the markets at these highs, you are starting to get out right now, getting the opportunity to get out of some of these AMDs and whatever. If you've been playing the long, it looks like it does want to break its day low right here. And every single time, like, see, it gets bought up and then it gets hit back. See, it tries to go to 20s there, just tried to go to 40s, got hit back down again. So I don't know. There goes 30s. Can it continue? No. I mean, with the futures doing this, this is not going meme crazy. This is actually, doing the opposite of that. So let me get something out at 37 right there. I'm offering, so we missed that. So hopefully it'll come back up with some momentum and get us out. Otherwise, we are stopping out, just making sure here in a couple seconds on this break lower. So there, okay, well, we get a 37 now. Let me take out another piece. If that happens one more time, we'll sit there at 39 this time and see if we can get some out. Let's just get out. It looks like, we better get out here or get out when it breaks. I mean, it's going to be one or the other. And if it continues to rip up, that's fine. We'll still hold on to a little piece. But we are now realizing that AMD and some of these chip names are weak. So we are getting out. And again, if this breaks, there it is. We'll take another piece out there. And if it does break lower, then we're out and we will obviously stay green. There it is on AMD. So AMD still green. Palantir's trying to fall in, but there goes Advanced Micro Devices. I don't know if we want to push the short now. We are looking long, generally speaking, right now in this name, but it is falling back out, so that's not great. And there goes Palantir as well, down into 191. Remember, our bids on Palantir, 190, waiting for the ultimate decision to happen right over there. Look, I'm going to go 2 for 2 so far here today. So pretty happy, obviously, with that performance as we continue to go. So let's just continue to watch it, and we'll hold on to this $1.50 that we have right now in Palantir. Look, if NVIDIA's going to the downside, then I'd be surprised, but there it is, as well as AMD. So you're down into the 200 period, just starting to break lower right now. I wonder if the gig is up here on Advanced Micro Devices, because we've been noticing that that's been a short, it seems like, here this morning. And now you do have that 254 area to go short off of if it does come back in, but that is making a move down. What's going on with Amazon today as well? We can have a quick little look there. I'm going to get out of another piece right now on Palantir, 121.30. 121, not 190, 130. Amazon, right? I mean, it looks like just these chip names may be part of the problem here, right? But it's not Amazon's problem because they're up to 228. So a nice little dig there for Amazon today. Made a move down into that 227 area, which, yeah, I mean, right into there, you know. Again, you guys can ask us in the chat. I'm seeing you guys asking us if we're green or red. You can ask us, or you know what we're up or down on certain stocks on the day. I mean, that's not a problem for us as well. But you know, I just told you we're up on AMD, and obviously, and we're up on Palantir. Palantir has been great. We don't have any stock. I don't know what happened there. That should have been a reload. I mean, maybe I mishit the key there, but there it goes upside. We still no damage done on Palantir as that continues to go. I like Boeing. I think Boeing has a great opportunity as we talk about some of the strengths in China-U.S. relations. You know, if Boeing, this is a way to sort of even out the trade balance potentially, right? Like if they need to add X amount to their deal, they could just buy millions of Boeing planes, and of course not millions, but hundreds of them, and add them to their sort of bill, and then that would appease, hopefully, some of those tariff talks. So yeah, I could see Boeing getting going there, breaking through the 50-period moving average. So yeah, it's not as fun as the rest of the names, but you know, a little bit of a dip into here, just to diversify, right? I mean, I'm a little nervous about Eli Lilly. Their earnings are coming this week as well. They need to have something big turn around for them. It's just, you know, waiting for whatever Wegovia or whatever their one is there. Seems to be maybe a little overplayed. That news seems to be old right now, but we'll, you know, I still like to diversify, maybe get into the ETF and take some of the profits that we have over there. AMD nicely bouncing, and Palantir. Palantir is the big one, man. Props up to everybody that has this today. This is really keeping me afloat right now. We lost our 2-time daily goal on that AMD move down, but AMD is now trying to pick itself back up, and I think NVIDIA there off of the 200 period would be something if it can retake that. But NVIDIA also near the day's low. So talks of Webull in the chat. I mean, this is another name that we like. You know, we talked about this last week down into that 10.50 area.
Always buy 10.5.
Yeah, good bounce in that. Yeah, 10.5 was where well, it went to 10.64 or so. So that was a good level there for Webull. And again, just coming back into support. Right? I mean, that was another great area. You don't ever want to buy exactly support because sometimes it bounces and you miss it and you look back and you're like, what have I done? SoFi here as well over that $30 mark. So there it is, man. Hit the like. Oh, it's going up. So hit the like and the subscribe, and make sure you also just hit the like right here. I mean, right now we have 1.2, over 10,000 of you, 1.2K. We want to thank you all for that one. As I just continue to sort of get out of some of these plays, Neil, I think, has traded 5 or 6 symbols. I've just traded the 2, and so far so good on the desk. Let's go find out from the big desk what Adair is up to.
I've talked to you about this story earlier, but I want to mention it again because Qualcomm here is still significantly higher here, pushing to the upside. QCOM basically announcing that they have these new accelerator chips and racks for data centers. They're going to start commercially launching in 2026 and 2027. One of the models in 26, the other in 27. Now, part of why this is significant too, I was reading more about this, is that these products are actually going to help the company compete against NVIDIA in the AI compute market. So that's the deal here with QCOM as it looks to make another high of day. Back to you.
Yeah, Qualcomm looking like an absolute
crazy stock there.
Beast for sure. Well, here comes beast. Well, here comes Mara right back into that prior high. We got VWAP a second time, and we look to hold the prior day high, which is like 2004 or so. So if it breaks under that, then I'm going to be jumping out. Intel, the strongest, well, it was the strongest chip name, obviously. Qualcomm looking pretty good right now. 4.5% was the strongest. We got one out in front of 40 here, the prior high. Now I'm just shooting for the volume weighted average price. Tried to reload, didn't quite get filled at 40.25. As we got another super chat. Thank you very much. Oh, I don't have it up. I don't see it, but I'll get to it there. Thank you. Gold, Jerry.
Ooh.
Gold. Seinfeld puts are printing.
Oh, gold is printing short today, eh?
Well, yeah, it's at the lows. Silver as well. It's essentially inverse. Right now, it's like pretty cleanly inverse to the market, right? Like it's stair-stepping down while the market kind of does. When I say the market, you know, Qs, SPY, whatever, stair-stepping up. But what's interesting about the Qs in particular, just want to jump back to them for a quick second, is look at the chop fest that we had off of the open and then distinct uptrend. So let's see if it can hold on to said uptrend in a bit of a dip buy. VWAP will be at 625 on the Qs, whatever that works out to you on. If you have me looking at the futures, I think it's like 25.25. But a very different story. Gold has been trend down, whereas there was a chop fest at the open that you saw in the overall Nasdaq. Intel doesn't seem to want to like fall all over itself after breaking this trend and making that top. Kind of a chop fest. I might jump out of this if it holds that 40 for too long in here, because I am fighting a strong stock overall. Like, it is one of the stronger names out there. Do want to keep an eye on Open Door. I said I was taking a break in Open Door. It hasn't happened yet. And it's back under VWAP. I still like 840. So as long as it holds on to the range, doesn't break the low, hasn't broken the high yet, then I still will look for this breakout at some point today on Open Door. As Michael Last said, like, it's not always about the short float itself, but the fact that people are short this at a horrible price. Lots of shorts are stuck under this at $1. I just like the technical setup. So I'll give it a chance to work, but no breakout yet on Open Door. We can be patient.
All right, good job over there. Good job by Neil today, like 6 or 7 symbols. I've only got the 2, but I want to know the story again, Adara. A lot of people asking about Qualcomm, so give that to us again, because right now you're 192 up 14%.
So what they did here is they, this headline, I guess, is from when it was up 7.4%. This is just on X, but basically they announced some new, I guess, products here for data centers, specifically accelerators for data centers and racks. And these products are going to compete with NVIDIA in the AI compute market. These products are going to be launching commercially starting in 2026 and 2027. So again, Qualcomm here with some products to compete with NVIDIA. Market clearly loves that story. Back to you.
Little 14%, like Adara brought this news up 7%. We continue to rip higher and higher and higher and higher here. So yeah, Adara, they do like this story. That is for sure. And again, a big congratulations to anybody that hit that story and hit it good. We're still like we're still cruising, man. As we do have now a day high break right now, as the face slapper is right here with PLTR. I'm still waiting for 192.50 right here for Palantir. We're at all-time highs again for this monster name. Just continues to go, man. I mean, this is, you're not going to wipe the smile off my face here as this continues to climb higher. So obviously a pretty green day so far. As we didn't really make anything on AMD. I mean, well, we do. We wind up, it's P&L number 2 here, but it's still not great here for AMD, but made money, just it fall in. They don't like that story, obviously, about the Qualcomm chips. So more competition. Not many should like that. So here it comes falling back in, and I mean that would be obviously why as well. NVIDIA is hitting the skid a little bit there into 190. So yeah, lots of different things to trade with here. I may get out of some Palantir at some point in the long term today again after a 192 all-time high break right now for that name. We can see what its little cousin's up to here. Let me see what Big Bear AI.
This is a huge level coming up for Qualcomm.
Is doing right now. Yeah, Qualcomm. Okay, we'll go to that in a second. Big Bear AI 1.13% right now. So yeah, so far so good over here, and it's a green day, but like I said, nothing too crazy. We're at about 1.7 now times our day. So we did give back a little bit on that AMD, just holding on to Palantir and looking for that next opportunity.
Yeah, this Qualcomm, obviously it's a huge story. 195, go back to November. Hey, is that my mom's birthday? Yeah, oh no, sir, it's the day before. Anyways, I think it's also a couple of people around here have that birthday as well. So July, once, twice in November. It is, if it can hold this out, this could be a huge break incoming, and this is the kind of story that can actually follow it through a little bit here. So yeah, keep in mind, right now you have like exuberance in program buying on Qualcomm. Like, I wouldn't personally chase it up here, but it's just not my cup of tea. But this is kind of a game-changing potential story. Qualcomm, lots of strength, got to respect it. Unfortunately, we'll go 1 for 3 on Mara because I just reloaded a 3rd time, and it lost the prior day high. So the second that happens, I'm jumping out of it, no questions asked. And again, like for me, I have one stock that was cleanly a win every time I traded, and that was AMD. I have 5 ones that are either flat or down, but I'm flat on the day. Dang. And that's how you stay up. Well, okay, fine. Intel is winning, and right now is a winner. but I'm not out of it, so I don't want to. And I'm trying to reload it. If I wasn't trying to reload Intel, then it couldn't turn into a loser, but I am trying to reload the stock. Just keep trying to get filled here at 22, and I have not been able to do so. But if I stare at it long enough, no, I'm just kidding. That's absolutely not how it works. It might give me the refill, now that I'm saying it. But yeah, next trade, potentially open door. It's a chance, but at this point, I'm not really thinking it's got that juice. And I'm staying away from AMD and NVIDIA after that Qualcomm news. Right? Like, all plans of action were before we got that Qualcomm news, and that obviously changes a lot of things. Thank you for the super chat, Control-Alt-Escape. Could I get your opinion on this swing on ONDS? Okay, so first things first, I don't know the stock. Sometimes it's like, hey, I've looked at it, maybe seen some levels, or actually have it down on my iPad, or have traded it recently. In this case, absolutely not. Like, can't really give you anything other than the technicals, which you're gonna know what I'm gonna say if you've been watching the show by now. Your swing long, obviously off the 50-period moving average, is a pullback through 7. If I'm ever taking this trade, it's here, stop under there, first target there, which is better 1-to-1, which you would have got today in front of 840. And then I'm trying to hold for at least this part of the gap fill at 9, and then a little bit higher at 11. So that's 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. That's how I'd be playing it there. There's no reason to get out if it's working for you. Like, I know it's pulling back now, but I would assume usually you take some profit off in here. That's over 10%. If it breaks this, you got another gap to be filled. So yeah, you got to let the trade work for you. I understand it's pulling back now, but you know, that's part of a trade. Like, sometimes it's going to pull back on you. It's not going to always go parabolic up like Qualcomm.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what it's all about, man. I mean, this is what we're talking about. You know, trying to make sure that we're in the right trades at the right time, having the right risk management.
NVIDIA is really
very
taking
important.
it on this Qualcomm news.
Like we were saying, man. Yeah, NVIDIA is going down. AMD is getting hit 190.50 right now. I mean, for Palantir, we'll give this a little bit of a go here and see if we can reload a little bit. And then if this breaks now 190, then we are out. I'm not going to give anything up here on, well, I'll give a little bit back up, but if Palantir breaks, then we're going to get out of it at 190. You're coming back into VWAP, so we will take a long on a strong, super strong name, and then just go for it, right? I mean, like Neil said, slightly flat over there, but we're still doing quite well on this one. Yeah, I've seen it. There it is, man. There's the reload. This is what we're talking about, man. We're not afraid to hit the keys here when we see an opportunity. So I said we were going to wait for it, and there it goes, man. Yes, man, rev up that Lambo right now. I saw someone in the chat say something about a Lambo there. We're going to rev it up right now. We're not driving any Lambos today. I mean, I wish the market was going crazy enough for me to be doing that, but there it is, man. There's the reload on Palantir. I say, another one. What's up, DJ? We like that. No problem there. Make sure you do hit the note. We're not doing that. It's not lunchtime, but it is props up right now for that play on PLTR. I hope some of you guys may have had that one, but yeah, I think you were probably trying to get at some of these chip names, right? I mean, I was just looking to go short here, 254.
No, Qualcomm just did
everything else tanking,
like an insane spike reversal pop there. Like, it went to 205. And the sellers came in. Let's put it this way. If you tried to short back through at 205, not that I was trying to do so, yeah, you wouldn't have gotten filled. Like, somebody drove this back through 205. It's just right back above 200. This stock is going absolutely ham as we speak. Let's go to it there. That was...
I want to mention as well, apparently at highs, this was Qualcomm's largest intraday gain since 2019. So this is a pretty significant move here for QCOM, and I would say definitely keep that in mind. Now, we're going to take a look here at BKYI to start. This was actually one of the ones on our watch list this morning, our Trader TV Live watch list. This company expanding into Scandinavia here with a partnership with IT2 Trust to boost their cybersecurity. We're going to take a look here at ASST as well. Now, we know this one had a pretty significant pop around 3 p.m. on Friday with Mike Alfred, who is a trader who's also involved in Open Door, saying that he's taken an initial position of greater than 1 million shares into ASST. Now, ASST is a name that's gotten retail attention in the past, and I think it's also worth noting that they recently announced a Bitcoin treasury strategy, so they're a Bitcoin treasury play as well. Last but not least, we have to talk about BYND, trying to push higher here off these lows once again. Now, this name had a massive move over the last couple of weeks. 2 Mondays ago, they announced some restructuring plans with regards to debt. Then last week, they had a pretty epic run to the upside, largely deemed a short squeeze. amidst some excitement here for the stock from retail investors. They also announced preliminary earnings last week too. Now, before we send you back to the guys, we will take a moment to thank our friends at Trade the Pool. For too long, trading meant risking your own money. We're never having enough to start. The fear of losing. That's what gets so many traders on the sidelines, but that is changing because Trade the Pool is transforming how traders access the markets. With this limited risk trading model, traders use funded capital while Trade the Pool absorbs the downside. This allows traders to focus on what truly matters: discipline, consistency, and growth. When you hit the profit target, you keep 70% of the profits. That's no fear, no barriers, just real opportunity. That's the revolution of limited risk trading. Powered by Trade the Pool. Visit tradethepool.com or scan the QR code now to get 10% off your first evaluation. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adair. Qualcomm the volume has been tremendous. This will be potentially the first red candle of the not of the session, sorry, since the news came out. Like, it was not really doing anything, trading higher on this new AI 200 chip and 250. So again, the big story, which is really reverse fortunes for some of the other chips. What? AMD's at 250 now? 250 and at some of those lows. Okay, I mean, that's just how it is. Obviously, AMD, NVIDIA both taking it on the chin on this news for Qualcomm, but it does seem like you're making a little bit of a top. As I said, I don't know if somebody was shorting what I was getting at that 205 level. Somebody either took out an absolute boatload of longs or shorted a ton there at that 205 level. I just you saw it on the tape. I wasn't trying to go short. I did reload on Intel up here at 24. That's why I wasn't getting filled at 22, because I wasn't at 22. And we're just going to try to get this one out in front of 40 and then hold the rest to VWAP, sticking to the same plan as before.
All right, man, that was another one. We're going to go 3 for 3 over here, Neil. So far, so good here. Jinx on NVIDIA. So we went over there, bought the dip on NVDA, so didn't want to interrupt Neil. But there it is, man. I hope some of you guys joined that trade. You can see all of our positions, of course, at the bottom, and you can always ask us opinions on new positions or current positions, names that we've played so far here today, names we've traded, you know, how it's worked out, what we're looking for. I just keep on the same names. So like I said, I only got 3 over here, many more over there. So make sure that if you want to ask us anything you want, and we will have another look at it. But wow, that was a good reload there, right? Look at Palantir now, 80 cents on that reload. So again, different kind of style, right? Intel's not going to move 80 cents in two minutes, well, maybe on news, but Palantir does. You got to make sure that you trade with the right amount of shares, the right amount of, you know, risk parameters and things like that, as it differs, obviously, per trade. And there goes NVIDIA, man. That's another 50 cents. So we dip bought that one as well. So far, so good, man. AMD's been an absolute monster today. It's a good stock for us. But yeah, upside, no. Downside today for Advanced Micro Devices. We were looking long. It's amazing that we're up on this stock looking long today, considering where it is right now. We were able to buy the dip on NVIDIA. Maybe this one we just hold. I mean, that's starting to go. And then the reload, of course. I mean, we're here, man. I'm trying to be here every day unless, you know, kids have something. But there it goes right now, upside 191.50. We just cashed out that off of VWAP. Should take Brian Shannon over there, man. Yeah, ASST, what's up, dollar sales? You want to talk about some Lambo trades? You want to look at ASST? Where's that? There it is from Max. ASST. Okay, let's go have a quick little look here at Strive. Yeah, there's that 150 break. So we did talk about that earlier, and I'm glad that some of you looks like hit that, and you're excited in the chat. So a nice little 155, I guess, top break from the pre-market sends Strive striving to do better and get nets much higher. So yeah, like we bought that NVIDIA bottom. That worked out, as you can clearly see here. We had bought you know, Palantir bottom there as well, working out. So yeah, I'm not going to sit here and complain about how trading's been today. It's been fantastic, and I hope you guys are having similar luck. I mean, it's been a tough one to try to buy these dips, but I feel like if you were able to get in and out of them like we're doing right now, like look what we're doing here on our good friend NVIDIA, right? Wait for that bottom to happen. There's the little bottom wick. So we take a little bit of risk there and pop it to the upside. And then the Palantir reload, I mean, there's not much else to do there except for give some props, man, as this market was that. So you just got out of your Intel position. I'm still in NVIDIA and Palantir. Yeah, what's the next one?
We'll see. I mean, I'm not really rushing to anything right now. Tesla is at $450, so that could be next. Ooh. But like I said, Intel, not going to let it. You're going to be counter trend trading. you got to both take profit and make sure that you adhere to your stop, right? So only entering at a specific level and then make sure we jump out. So we'll stay up on Intel, although I would have liked it to get to VWAP. It doesn't get to the volume weighted average price. All right, Tesla, remember what happened on Friday? Friday level at 450. Now, ultimately, look, if you took the 450 break,
Palantir.
they said like this, it was a winning trade if you were very, very, very fast. You had to be quick on it. So like, it did require a little bit of quick hands on there to be able to get that, because it was one of the nastiest rejections I've seen. It took a matter of, I think it was about 8 seconds for it to reject 450 and then trade down to like 443. It was very, very quickly, so you had to have some quick hands. I would suspect 450 will have some sellers on it again here today. So big level as it comes in. I'm just gonna wait for like some kind of a mean reversion trade, which I'm also about to get to on MARA. MARA bounces off 20. 20 is the prior high, which I like. Yesterday's high, and it's breaking this trend on the way back into VWAP. So I'll jump right back into it. We took it at VWAP before. We took it at this level as well. I'm willing to trade this at VWAP. I'm willing to trade this on bounces off the $20 level here on MARA, as the market has been decidedly green, but lots of other things have been chop fest. So my eyes are going to be on Tesla, 450, MARA going back to that well, which is something that's been part of the plan pretty much all morning. I'm also willing to trade it off of the volume weighted average price. Keep a quick eye out, though, on some of these small cappers. Like, I'm looking at open here, and the other side of that 840 coin is this 7. It's still holding the 780, and then the higher low here at $8. It closed at 797, so this could be a bit of a double bottom trend break as well. Very similar to what the chart of MARA just looked like as well. So I'm playing a couple of mean reversions at this point. Let it trend down, break trend, and then we get back into it.
Yeah, we're doing basically the complete opposite. We're just playing trends, like just basically the long in the market, not the long in the stocks.
That's a trend break.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we're playing.
That's
trends.
not the opposite. That's the exact setup.
Okay, just relax. I'm just trying to say that what we're trying to do is, we know that NVIDIA has been a short here, but we're trying to play the trend in the market right now, which is a nice upside move. And so far here today, it's been a good day. I mean, this has been a good one here for Palantir, up $1 right there. And again, this is the kind of what we're talking about as well. Palantir, a strong name. Play it back into VWAP where those trends go. We just tagged our good friend Brian Shannon as well, because he's trying to give us VWAP trades all the time, and there it is there. I should probably anchor VWAP something here as well if that goes, but it's NVIDIA right there to the upside as that keeps on going, and Palantir keeps on going. But you know what? What we haven't really done is look at the whole market in general yet, so let's have a quick little look to see what's going on with the market quickly right now. So this is what's going on today. It's not a bank day. Although the banks are quite nicely up, but you do have MasterCard, Berkshire to the downside. So I shouldn't say it's not a bank day, actually, now that I look at this. I was looking over here, but Goldman Sachs, 1%, that's nice. Morgan, 1% is nice. JP Morgan not doing much. It's Citigroup, 1.7%, so that's okay. Coinbase, 2% as well. Yeah, oh, there's the big one, Robinhood, as we continue to look for. SoFi, I don't think is in this group yet, but it probably should be, man. This is finance. I don't ever really see it in here, but SoFi, as far as I know, I think is also trying to go off a little bit there today. This is the weaker sector. It's been hot the last couple days, but for today, a little low on some of these names. Eli Lilly. Eli Lilly reports this week. Their highs in the 950 or so area. They're not, oopsies, that's AbbVie. They're not here yet on Eli Lilly, man. They're, I don't know, I know you've been talking about trimming some of your positions too. And
I've been sold in a while though.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we're getting it to that level now in and around this 815, 812 area for Eli Lilly. So there could be something going on there. But the consumer non-durables, you know, as the Nasdaq and ES keep ripping up, a lot of these stocks on this side of the board will have decent dividends. So if you want to sort of look, wow, Lulu's still that 4%, that's nice. They don't have a dividend, but Procter, Philip Morris, Altria, Coke, Pepsi, right there, all making a little bit of movement there. So yeah, so far so good here, but look what's happening. We are now on reloads right now. We are $1 in the money on that Palantir and $1 plus. Look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA's almost all the way back to VWAP right there. So The reason why I went over to NVIDIA was we had that Qualcomm story, and we're going to go over to Adara for it, for more stories, I guess. But Neil nailed the look here that maybe someone came in and sold this level. So let's wait to see if maybe Qualcomm comes back in. But again, introducing chips here to rival some NVIDIA and AMD talk there. So I don't know how that's working out exactly, but it seems like it's working pretty good so far for Qualcomm shareholders. The big name that I want to buy on dips, because we did sell some upside, was Oracle. So I was just, the Qualcomm sort of feels there gives me some Oracle feels as well, because Oracle really had these huge rips and then followed by basically a downtrend. So I'm wondering if Qualcomm, I mean, look, they're obviously different stocks and going on different news here, but Qualcomm, there's a big rip, so potentially a decent fade happening right now. But hey, just on these last reloads in the last 10 minutes, we're now $2.50 up, and we're starting to go right now. I like that Tesla trade. Let's go, I think we'll go, do you want to talk about that first or go to Adara?
It failed 450 and broke trend. I missed the 450 breakdown through. I tried to grab it, I was at like 77, but when it failed underneath 450, like it was at 449 pretty much instantaneously. You had to cross like $1 and not like 25 cents, which is what I crossed. So I'm in on the trend break, looking for the volume weighted average price. I believe we're going to Adara. See what's at the desk.
More news on Qualcomm. So we know previously we had this massive push to the upside in Qualcomm, which, by the way, apparently poised for its best day since 2019. But Qualcomm here initially stronger after announcing these AI accelerators for racks and data centers that were apparently going to place Qualcomm in competition with NVIDIA in the AI compute space. Now, the company's announcing that they have a program with Humane where they're aiming to start using 200 megawatts of Qualcomm's AI 200 and AI 250 rack solutions by 2026. So this new, I guess, rack solution here for Qualcomm, they're also in a partnership with Humane for Humane to use them. Humane AI is one of those companies that was involved in a lot of those deals going back to April, May with regards to the Saudi Arabia and UAE trips. So keep an eye on QCOM, also striking a deal with Humane. Back to you.
Yeah, thanks to Derek. Qualcomm right back up to that 205. So this is where, I don't know, like resident, whoever it was, maybe it was, like I said, it could have been a short seller. It could have been someone just taking a bunch of profit, but somebody slammed it back through $205. And if you see a big sell order go through once and it gets back up there again, maybe they like taking profit, or maybe someone really likes the short up there. So I'm going to eyeball this as well for you guys. Ooh, open door is trying to break the trend. All right, let me just go over, get my fill. There we go. I just got open at the $0.50 as that one's breaking the trend, going back into the upside off of the low. So my stop on open door is essentially the prior bar low, which is like a 10-cent risk. But here comes Qualcomm on that news. 205, big level. Go out to a daily chart, and it's already blown through the big resist, that triple top resistance, and the next thing up would be the lower high from the actual high, which is at 211. So there is some room for this to still go, despite this double top here at 205. But not much. Like it's a what is that, a $37 move? So 37 from the low and only $5 left till you get to the next resistance level out there on the daily. Wow. So it's, yeah, you could see some profit taking and make some sense at that level. All right, back in open door, this was the trade I was just talking about, breaking that trend. Want this not just to get to VWAP, I want this to get back into that 830. And I still like the breakout at 840. I will take this if it breaks 840 today. There's just no guarantee it will at this point.
Look, we are really blowing upside right now. So, like, hopefully you guys have gotten some of this, man, right? We'll ride the gangster bull right here through. Like, this was, I mean, we were sitting here on our hands, but I've only traded 3 names today. You know, AMD was a good one there. NVIDIA, we just waited for that drip. And then finally it gave us, I mean, Joe's not, this is probably, I don't know exactly, he talks about sort of the scanner that he has working for him right now, but like that's what I found right there just by looking at names I always trade. And that, something similar, right, this drip? What call? And NVIDIA. Okay. There we go. Yeah, so I was just going to say, Joe, look, I mean, I picked, it's basically the exact same level. It was probably, what, 1024, 1025? Yeah. Yeah, so the human algo on this side picks it up. We say shout out to everybody there, but that's why you want to have programs running. You can see different moves on different names. Like I just saw this because I went over there, saw AMD start to drip down, and your boy put this one on. Now this is $1.50 in the money. And oh boy, you want to talk about a reload? This gives you another one right there, and we'll props it up as we come flying in on PLTR. That just went to 192.50 right there on the reload there. We'll go to 192.05, see if we get that, Phil. Oh, we're actually at 06 right there. We missed the 05, that's funny. But there it is, we get it now. All right, so there's the break higher, so there's the reload right there on VWAP. So again, we're just sitting here doing what we do best, man, and that is to try to find some trades, stick into where we think it should go. And when it doesn't, man, we get out and we get stopped. And I think that's a good example right here with AMD. We kept on going long. We're up on this. We're 3 for 3, but up, drop, and then you don't have to absorb that. And right now, if you like the short, I mean, you're back up to VWAP, and now you can play the other way. We were favoring AMD long. Bye-bye Palantir, someone's saying. Yeah, you're right about that one, man. Up to 192 again. That's a good one. But there's so many names to trade. But honestly, I just stay focused, and I think a lot of you should as well, on names that you have. This is my style. Names you have ideas on, go for them. Obviously, as they hit out, like Qualcomm and other names like that, give you great opportunities, especially in the option space as well. But yeah, stock's starting to go high right now, up 1.5%. We had a great day on Friday, and then now continued again here today with the ES up 1.4. Sorry, Nasdaq up 1.4, ES up 0.9. And Neil, I think the problem is Bitcoin's actually holding out, but gold is the one.
No, underneath 115, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. I think we started the day around 115 or 115.5.
Yeah, so it's kind of
flat. So it's a little flattish there, but it's gold that looks like it's stair-stepping down. So this would be the one that if you want to take advantage, like I said, I think a lot of that pop up there in gold created margins. People now, I think, maybe getting liquidated. I don't know if they levered up on gold or not, but that's quite a nice move, man, from 400 down to 366. So you're almost down here 8%, probably. That math seems right. About from the highs. Right there on gold. So if you're looking to dip buy anything, as I told you, I have some bids around 345, so we'll see if those get filled up. But yeah, Palantir coming back in. So good out there again near 192. We're back to the highest spot we've been at all day, but most of that is because of NVIDIA, which may be having some problems. I'm going to offer 31s, get them right now, and yeah, throw it back over to you. I don't know, 20 minutes left before the midday show.
Yeah, and there is a battle happening right here at 447. There's an IPO today. I'll get there in a quick little second, but I just looked over, and there's a battle happening at 447. I liked 46 in VWAP, but I got to respect what's going on Tesla right now and just try to take it out in front of that 47. It's time for Sector Watch with Adara. Already 1040. Man, the morning has flown by.
Bloom.
I have news as well, so I'll start with that. ARM to the upside here, ARM. Now, this is actually sympathy play with Qualcomm because QCOM, which of course is trading to the upside after announcing these new rack solutions. Qualcomm actually uses ARM, or not uses ARM specifically, but Qualcomm uses AI technologies in their products, which is why ARM is trading to the upside. So again, ARM higher a sympathy play with Qualcomm, which uses AI tech in its products, and of course announced a whole bunch of products and deals today. But we're going to take a look here at Sector Watch, see what these sectors are doing, and generally the answer is trading higher. Electronic technology and technology services both incredibly strong. We have to shout out here Qualcomm, which is poised for its best intraday performance since 2019. Intel up 5% in earnings day 2, and then over in tech services, PLTR up 3.5%. We've got finance here with a little bit of strength. Retail trade a little bit more mixed with the exception of some strength in Amazon. Consumer durables, good look. Consumer services, good look. Transportation, commercial industries, producer manufacturing. Now, health technology is a little bit weaker. So are consumer non-durables and utilities. But health tech is going to be in focus. We get AbbVie and Eli Lilly, two of the largest components in this sector, both reporting earnings later this week. Back to you.
All right, we just got another piece out here on NVIDIA at 160. Oh, no, sorry. What am I talking about? We're upside right now. Did we just get that? I thought I put in NVIDIA, Phil. Oh, 190.80, sorry, for NVIDIA. So let's wait to see if we pop that up. Sorry, my bad. The 60s was in Palantir. We got 192.20s there. Well, there it is right there. We got 191 and change. Yeah, that's where we're waiting here at VWAP, 191 and change there for PLTR as it just keeps on going upside. But yeah, your Tesla's a good trade there. Oh, you're out. Good trade.
I jumped out of Tesla, but remember, I always say this rule, like, just because you missed the top doesn't mean you try to hold for more than the move is. It bounced off 47. I wanted it at 49, 49.5 to 49.
All 50 viewers
or 50. That's where I wanted it short. But I didn't get it until like 448.5. So I missed like the first dollar of the move and then just captured the second. So sometimes that's just how it has to be. There is a small IPO today. I don't know too much. MapLight Therapeutics. This is a no take for me. Like, I'm not taking the opening print on this. The indicated open is at 21. I even see it on here. It's not even making the imbalance locator, it's so small. But 21 is the indicated open price if anyone's interested. We can give updates if you guys would like. Yeah, we can give you guys updates on it, but this is a no take for me. There is one at the end of the month, which is a $1 billion IPO, and I am interested in looking at some SPACs for some potential trades now that those are back into play. But for now, that's one that I'm going to be sitting out, the IPO today. So open gets to, guess what? The volume weighted average price. Right, so broke trend, got the VWAP.
All of a sudden.
And now I'm just going to buy the dip in front of this 8 level and see if we can't play for a breakout above the volume weighted average price. If it just stays inside the range, then I want to try to play this back into the high for potential breakout of the top. And jumping right over to Qualcomm as well, that 205, it does hold. So I didn't see anything, like there was nothing special about like the level outside of the first time someone sold a bunch and it was obvious in the take. If you were looking at the level 2, like there's nothing special about me saying, oh my God, there's a seller at 205. You could just, if you had eyes and you had a level 2 and you had a time in sales, you saw someone sell it there. But this time, more of like a technical hold underneath that 205 level. So hopefully some kind of consolidation and Qualcomm will calm down after this story, as it has been, like essentially this stock just sort of took over everything on that new chip news, took AMD to the downside. NVIDIA is able to at least bounce back higher, but Qualcomm, the big story of the day. And shout out to everyone, including ChatGPT, mentioning DVLT. It did just wick top $4, but it was a runner on Friday. It's a runner today, and if you ever hear about how do you squeeze in a stock, well, you've got to break levels. This has been trending higher. It broke on Friday and kind of failed 3, but whatever. Like it flushed back through the highs, but it held on to that $3 level, bounced right off of that $3 to go higher today. So this is one that is a legit squeeze. It's what I want open to be doing here at some point.
I don't even know what that song is. I'm trying to sing with Sharif over here.
He knows that song.
And I don't know. No, I don't know. Oh, did you sing a song? I don't know. It's something about a moment in time. I was just started.
I thought you said closing time.
Oh, closing time.
That's what I thought you were singing.
Yeah, exactly. It's not closing time yet. It's about to close for Neil and I, but it's got the doors about to swing open for these maniacs beside us.
What were you singing?
I don't know. I just sing whatever Sharif sings.
What was you singing?
I don't know. Something about closing something. I don't know what it was.
I thought I heard closing time.
Yeah, well, that would have made sense, but I don't know what Sharif was doing there. Yeah, so there. The other plate I wanted to look at there. Some people in the chat were having a few words about. Was it about Roblox? It was about Intel. I saw some Intel talk here breaking through. It was about. No, I just want to say someone said about your TTD. That's the thing. When you want to get out, you get out so you don't absorb all of these hits, right? Like Neil and I will have all these different ideas all the time, but you never know where it's going to go, so you got to get out, right? It's like I wrote down AMD on the sticky note, and it was a long on the sticky note. We ran that until it wasn't, and then we were able to stop out right there once it breaks lower. So I just think no matter what your trade ideas are, have your outs, and then you're fine, right? I mean, it's all about some risk management. In a dip down, that's too bad, man, because honestly, Katina Capital, you guys know we stamped PayPal along, but I didn't buy any more myself. So we should have done that when it dripped back into 67, 68. I was actually waiting. I do have bids. I told you, I have bids on PayPal lower. I have bids on gold lower. I have bids on Alibaba lower. And we didn't just miss gold. Gold's still going down. Hopefully we'll get that soon. I'll talk about my levels soon. But PayPal right into here, I liked these levels. So I was waiting for, I think it was 66.50 or 65.50, something in here, waiting to see if we broke 64.50. And then I still wasn't going to get out, but this was a level that I liked here for PayPal. I like the story here in PYPL moving forward. They got a couple upgrades. They had that deal with Google. It's still not the runner that we all want it to be, I guess, especially if you've had such a big negative experience with PayPal and their stock price anyways, not with their product. But right here, SoFi just ticking up to these levels. This could be even a better short than a long because SoFi has an out right there at 30.50. So if you like the downside push.
It ain't so.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't. I mean, I actually, if it comes back into the 50, I'm buying more. Like this is the last time I bought some was down here at 25. So I'd like to buy some more SoFi, but SoFi's so good, right? And I do like the talk there on Qualcomm because, again, if Qualcomm, as you had mentioned there, can Qualcomm down, then maybe there is a back move there because that's 2 times in a row now. We've hit 204. Let me just actually check Obi right here. Obi Nobi right there. He might have tried to catch the back end there, but doesn't have it right now. So Obi not in this one as it's faded back just a little bit into 197, 198 there. Nice move back in for Qualcomm, up 100. Up through that $200 mark, now up $40 almost. 168 is where the story started. And again, Qualcomm getting into that chip game. 170 up to 204, and now finally pulling back. All right, let's go back over. It's only 10 minutes left, but I did hear a call for Adara.
Going to start quickly with a note on Intellia Therapeutics, NTLA. This one pushing lower here, announcing earlier today that it's halting, temporarily halting patient dosing and screening for one of its treatments here. Interesting look there for NTLA initially. Well, we also have comments coming in from Adam Feuerstein, who is a biotech reporter. He's saying that it's difficult to imagine a viable future for this specific company following the pause in trials. So again, Adam Feuerstein, reporter here in the biotech space, saying that it's difficult to imagine a future for this company following this news. So NTLA certainly going to be in watch. I want to take a look here at the US dollar to get into the money talks portion of things. And I'm going to start here with the US dollar and Argentine pesos. This is ARS to USD. Argentine peso having a great day here today following the election of Javier Milei in Argentina. So great look there for the peso. We're going to take a look now at the US dollar DXY. And this is going to be in watch here once again ahead of that FOMC meeting on October 29th. So the last FOMC meeting, September 17th, which was, of course, a Wednesday, 2025, this had a nice pop here in the US dollar, initially actually serving as a low this year and then serving as nice support. Now, of course, it'd be difficult to say, or almost impossible to say, if we're going to get the exact same thing on this Wednesday meeting with the US dollar. But either way, it is worth noting the US dollar can and will move on these rate decisions, so definitely keep an eye on that. Again, we are very largely pricing in a 25 basis point cut at this meeting, exactly what we got at the last meeting there for the FOMC. Back to you. Make sure to like and subscribe.
At quarter point, that's what we're going to get. 97% chance. It'll be probably 98 tomorrow, and it'll be 99 on Wednesday. Because any last hope that there was that we wouldn't get it, that went out the window when we got that CPI print. So inflation looking light, so they can worry about the job market. The Fed can worry about the job market. And also keep in mind, interviews going on for the new Fed chair. We're down to 5. No idea who's going to get it, but we do know the last 5.
Whoever agrees with Trump the most.
Well, we kind of know that's going to be the case. But either way, the Fed, I think, is going to be a bit of a nothing burger at 2 o'clock as usual on Wednesday, and then we'll work to see what happens when Powell hits the podium. USAR, thanks for the reminder about this one. So look, you know that all of the rare earth metals, the critical metals stocks, all catching a bit of some strays with the China-U.S. talks, and at the end of the day, I think I'll potentially buying opportunity. I already said big time resistance level at 20 on USAR, and then it broke it out in October, beginning of this month, and right bouncing off the 50 period. It's also down 13%, so it's SSR. It just broke the trend from the opening candle, so first bounce, there's another bounce, broke the trend line, so I'm now long to the low on USAR. Oh, now Tesla wants to go apparently.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I don't know. Tesla's going this.
Oh, the market's coming back.
Yeah, you know what? And I bet you Qualcomm, there's a decent chance QCOM, there you go. You can tell it's a symbol that I haven't typed in very often because I'm just typoing it every single time. Yeah, Qualcomm's starting to give it back. So we're looking for this to calm down. Looks like it's not at the first dip level, might be at the volume weighted average price. This will be key. Like, does this give up the move? Does this hold VWAP? I think that would bode well. Obviously, if it can hold on to that volume weighted average price. The big story, of course, Qualcomm here looking very, very strong. I wonder, we'll see if this ends up being true, but that last tick down, remember, futures up, everything up on this China negotiations and the metals down. Maybe this inverse is holding and that's catching the USAR bounce. So I'm going to use that by saying if I start to see the futures ramp up or maybe some of the chip names bounce to cover USAR. Because at this point, it's been counter trend the whole time. If it starts going up when the market's coming down, that's confirmatory, as Shreve would say.
At this time of day, the chat is littered with lunch talk right now. People are always cheering for tilapia because they want to see our reaction. So we'll get that very, very soon to what is exactly for lunch. I'm getting a little nervous about NVIDIA just kind of flatlining right now. So maybe there's an out there for NVIDIA, which we're just taking. Let's check on some other names here before we throw it over to the midday show. Still up 6% is Robinhood. Good move up there, trying to get right back up to all-time highs again. And look, it's easy to hold stock. It's hard sometimes to make decisions on where to jump in. And I feel like Robinhood, that would have been maybe a hard one as well, as it came really rifling back down. We talked about this when it was 152. I remember this when it was down into 125, saying that we're basically down almost at 15 to 20% now, almost in an individual stock bear mode there for Robinhood. Very similarly to what we are in Oklo, in SMR. We're well into the bears now, as SMR's high was 57 and it's now 38 or so. Look at Oklo. Oklo started the day hot. Like this was up today. And now, whoops, has not been able to find a bid over in Oklo. SMR, same way, man. They have not been able to find a bid here either. They did actually, I take that back, did find a bid about mid-morning, 10:30, up there into $38, but now back into the lows on this one. So I was fortunate enough, honestly, to get out at 57. Like, the high rate there is 57.50. So we just put an offer there, got it on, and we put it on this day when things were going off. And I was like, you know what, I don't really believe per se in this huge move up. And so we were able to get out. We talked about the market being a little frothy, but there's that dip buy opportunity that we did not make on SMR. So the fact that I'm not in any more nuclear names or power like this, I wonder if that's going to be another dip buy opportunity for me, but I still need to do it. You talked about SMR had sort of some sort of approval out of all of them that are nice, and IONQ I thought was also
the only one with a small modular reactor that has I guess it's like the design approval from the nuclear regulatory body. IONQ is filed for it, but doesn't have it yet.
Okay, and then just quickly, more outs here on Palantir. We're at 191.60, but here we go. It's now time. Okay, is oil a buy? I don't know, Jameson. I mean, I'd rather buy what your namesake there, the Jameson, get some alcohol stocks in me. But no, I don't know about oil, honestly. On a China rebound, I could see obviously oil getting pretty strong. I mean, we don't need to talk about why, as you know, as the world.
Good industrial production numbers. So.
That's what, yeah. So I think China's probably fine, and I think oil's probably fine on that note. So yeah, good little look there, Jameson, for sure. But lunch, you already saw it? Okay, Joe already saw the lunch, so no insights on this one. Joe, give me, is it a yes or a no early?
He's smiling.
On your opinion.
He's smiling.
Hard no for Joe. Okay, so today, what's for lunch?
Beef stroganoff?
All right, Neil calling beef.
No.
You have to be kidding me right now. Today's lunch is blackened tilapia. Well, we joke about, are we being trolled? Because I ran into...
Caterers watching the show.
I ran into the caterer last week, and I'm like, you know, I have a segment every day on the show. He's like, oh, for real? I was like, yeah, we have a segment on the show every day, and every time it's tilapia, I'm throwing mad shade at you guys.
There's no way.
He's a delivery guy, so I don't know. There it is today. It is, I cannot make this up. It is blackened. So no wonder Joe came here with some hatred on his mind. It is blackened tilapia with vegetable pilaf, roasted broccoli. There's another favorite of yours, Neil. Roasted broccoli and cauliflower with chef's choice salad.
We're being
I am now happy.
No, we're being trolled.
That we are able to have a big day here.
We're being trolled.
I'm up 2 and a bit on our day. Obviously, we can go forward. to grab some lunch outside. We'll try the tilapia. We get it, I get it on. I'm hoping they put tuna on the salad for me, but it is blackened. I cannot make it up. What's up, Joe Mama? I see you there. Joe Mama saying go get some McDonald's. So a funny joke around here about that. Thank you, Joe Mama, for your gift last week. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
But right there.
Can't get tilapia
so
at McDonald's,
can't
I'll say that much.
You can get filet of fish. Is filet of fish worse than tilapia or not?
Well, I mean, in general, probably not. Here's the thing.
We are not ungrateful, Drew. We are very grateful for this.
The tilapia we get from the cater, it's just not that good.
And it's too often. I feel like they made it.
We get it way too often.
This guy's either the greatest tilapia fisherman of all time, or I don't know what happened.
But I can
here.
tell you what's happened. Like, they probably had a huge cat. They've got a lot, and it's been frozen for a while. And so like it wasn't so bad the first couple of times we got it. It's just like progressively worse for obvious reasons. With only 2 minutes to go. No,
I really can't believe that I opened it up on a Monday and that was what it was. Bitcoin right now.
Only because we've never had it. I don't think we've had it on a Monday. It's usually like.
Oh, I don't go that far in, but now it's starting to ruin our day.
No, it doesn't taste like chicken. First of all, absolutely does not taste like chicken. I was asked about ARM in the chat a little bit earlier. Like, what was I doing with ARM? I already trimmed. If I had not trimmed an ARM, then would I have done so today? Yeah. I trimmed before it got to 180. On this one. This was the only stock I actually got specifically at the April lows. I did more buying in March than I did in April, which was a bit of a miss, but it doesn't really matter. ARM was one that I got. I was able to take some out. I think it was a couple weeks ago, whatever. The first time it got to 175. I don't remember which day that was, but ARM has huge resistance at 180, has for a while. With this chip bounce, of course, it's breaking out as well, looking pretty good. But I just think you got to take some profit at the end of the day on any kind of. Like when you get a double up, or like some stocks are triple up, whatever it might be, you get from the bottom to the top, I just feel like it's prudent to take a little profit off. All right, USAR got halfway to the volume weighted average price and turning right back in. So it did break the trend. I'm not going to redraw the trend line. Trust me, it broke that trend line. If it holds on to this low, which is about 2015. It's not the 20 level, but I'm not going to let it break this low. If it bounces, I'll re-enter for VWAP. If it breaks it, I'm getting out of USAR. And Open Door is kind of a similar thing. Broke trend. There's your low just underneath the $8 level. Orders into VWAP. If it goes, it goes. But I'm not holding through the low of the day. It is a Qualcomm day, and it's almost at VWAP. So we're going to throw you guys to the mid guys in just a few seconds here. But for the first time since like 10 o'clock, Qualcomm is going to be at the volume weighted average price post-haste. Will it bounce, or will the profit taking continue? If it bounces, I'm taking it. But at this point, it is all red on Qualcomm, which was up over 20% at one point.
Oh boy, Qualcomm. Okay, yeah, me and Neil, good day today. We'll enjoy or
no,
not.
No, I'm not going to enjoy it.
No, come on, let's play the game, man. We're going to enjoy tilapia.
I'm not going to.
All right. I'm gonna try to look like half glass full. Today will be the best tilapia they have ever provided.
It's protein.
Okay, see, Neil?
Yeah.
Now you're turning around. Okay,
protein,
there we go.
Right?
There we go.
Protein
Finally,
in your diet.
There we go. Finally wearing off. AMD? Yeah, you guys go over AMD. We're going to come on that right now. AMD going nuts.
Oh, no, there's news.
Yeah. So they're going to go nuts on this. We're $1.50 in the money on NVIDIA. Yeah, there's news about AMD, so make it a little more exciting. Let's go over to the midday right now, or to Adara. It's your choice, Andres. Ciao for now.
Here at the Department of Energy, U.S. Department of Energy forming a $1 billion partnership with AMD to build 2 supercomputers. Now, in case you guys were not aware, we did have AMD already having AMD here going to be a watch here with this U.S. Department of Energy forming a $1 billion partnership with AMD to build 2 supercomputers. We know Intel, competitor of AMD, actually has an equity deal